6-3. It was a 9-goal thriller yesterday.
Okay.
And so Venezuela lost out. There was just, I think Venezuela were in the lead. They were ahead of Bolivia. But after failing to win yesterday, Bolivia picked that playoff spot. Now, Argentina, after 18 games, topped the group with 38 points. Ecuador came in second, 29 points. Colombia, third, 28 points. Uruguay, fourth, 28 points. Brazil, fifth, 28 points. And then Paraguay, the sixth team that qualified automatically, also picked up 28 points. It was a very difficult campaign for Brazil. But after Allotey came and played a couple of games and then got them to actually hang on to qualification spot. So Brazil finished 5th in the South American Championship Series as far as the World Cup qualification is concerned. So Argentina, Ecuador, Colombia, Uruguay, Brazil, Paraguay are the 6 teams that have automatic qualification to the World Cup in 2026. Bolivia would have to figure it out via their playoff route.
Okay, all right. We'll talk a bit about that. But I mean, yes, you are right. 18 games played. Everybody's played all their games. We know the representatives: Argentina, Ecuador, Colombia, Uruguay, and Brazil, and Paraguay, right? With Bolivia getting the playoff spot. All right, we're talking about the Black Stars. I said we'll talk about the Black Stars. So let us go onto the line and let's speak with Coach Ebenezer Sefa. He's a coach and scout, and we'll get his thoughts on the Black Stars, their game, and what can be done going forward, especially on the playing body, to ensure that the team is in a better place as we prep to wrap up the qualifiers. Coach, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Nathan, and good morning.
Great stuff. How are you doing, Coach?
Oh, I'm doing well, on yourself.
Yes, we are fine.
And my man.
Raymond is here. Raymond is here.
Coach, I agree too.
Sandy is saying good morning.
Coach, thank you so much for speaking with us. Let me start off with just your quick impressions of that game between Ghana and Mali. Happened on Monday night. It puts Ghana in a very good place in terms of the qualifiers. But what did you make of the performance as the match evolved at the Accra Sports Stadium?
Well, let me say good morning to your listeners. And it was a must win. How the players or how the team will win, personally, I didn't mind, but it was the 3 points, and that was the most important thing. And I think that they did it. And going into the game itself, I think that the Malians were much, much better. We had a goal. For me, I think that was the most important thing. But talking about tactics, system, and everything, I think that we need to do more. And they themselves, I'm sure, Toado and his technical team, I'm sure they know there's a lot of work to do, because the kind of game that we played going into the World Cup, we need to improve on it. And you and I know that. Look, at a point there was some individual brilliance from some of the players, and playing before your home fans, and at a point you could clearly see that the team was struggling. But on the whole, I think that the most important thing in football, that is what they did. I mean, that's the 3 points. That has put them on top of the group. They only need to go out there and then make sure that they pick out the 3 points against Central African Republic, and Ghana will be in the World Cup in Mexico, Canada, and the US.
You mentioned the playing body, so let's start from there. With 2 games left in the qualifying series, they need 3 more points to make it. What do you make of the playing body? Do you think that they are operating at their maximum, or you believe that there are still a few more levels this team can get to? And if yes, what should be done to unlock the hidden potential of this team?
Well, I think that there's more to give. If you and I have been watching these boys in their various clubs, and you see what they give to their clubs, to the nail, and for me, I think that they need to put in more. And if you ask me, I think that Toado has not been consistent with his team selection. Probably maybe injuries has also made him not to do that. But notwithstanding that, I don't think that Uto has had about 8 players consistent in his team. That for me is a worry, because going into a major competition, you need a consistent team. That was why, for me, I was praising Kwesi Zibo, because the player who just came into the Black Stars, training with them for what, a day or two, and even that was a tactical training that he did with them. He has never played with any of those players. He has tactically, technically, he has not been there with them. But you clearly saw what he did on the field of play. Very disciplined in front of the back four or the back line, being a shield for Thomas Partey, for Partey to do whatever he does best in his club and all that. So for me, I think that Otto needs to have a consistent team, and the players themselves also have to lift their game. They need to be consistent in terms of performance, and clearly you could see that when the Malians were down, it was all Mali who was trying as much as possible to put pressure to make sure that they unlock the back line of the Ghana team. It's just unfortunate for them that they couldn't get it, but I think possibly for Otto Addo, he was able to get all the 3 points. But I believe that there's a lot of work to do. If I don't want to do comparison, but if you are looking at the Stemapia squad that represent Ghana, you could clearly see that the players come down, the kind of performance they put in their various clubs, that is what they come to give the national team. But here it's a bit different, and I think that it's a bit worried. It's a bit worried.
What do you think accounts for the difference? What do you think is the difference? Because you mentioned what we see them do every weekend for their clubs, and we see what they come to show in terms of output for the national team. Where do you think the challenge is, and what possibly accounts for the difference in performance?
Well, it's a bit difficult. I don't want to use the word commitment, but I think that anytime. This is something that I think that the technical team needs to look at, because look, personally, if you have a consistent team, definitely they are going to give you performance improvement of their performance from previous games. But if you keep on changing your team due to one or two reasons that probably best known to you, definitely these are the kind of performance you get from the players that you think that they are in shape that you've invited. And two, I think that most of the players are also playing in different roles from their various clubs when they come to the Blasters, or possibly they don't understand each other very well. For instance, look at Kamal Dean. And this is not the first time for me, ever since he started playing for the Blasters. He comes into the game from the bench, he runs a lot, he takes on defenders. The final delivery has always been poor, and there's never been improvement of that. Decision making, improvisation, and sometimes selfishness on some part of the players. Look at the chances that came. The one between him and then Inaki Williams. It was a simple ball to Inaki Williams, because he has already taken off from the halfway of the center circle. Just give him the ball, and that is what we know Inaki Williams does for his club. About put the ball into space, and he will go and then he will finish the job for you. He had that opportunity, but he wanted to go solo. Something that he has done severally with the Blasters, that it has not worked for him. Joseph Pencil also had an opportunity, and you could clearly see that Inaki was the right person at the right position, that he could have given the ball to him for him to have finished. He also decided to go for Kamal, and these things need to be worked at. When you look at Antoine Semenyo, I think that his club that he plays in the EPL, he's been given probably, I won't say a free role, but a specific role. Tactically, he has been given a specific role to do. But in the game against the Malians, I think the first 45 minutes, I don't think he even saw 5 balls. I mean, I don't think he even touched 5 of the balls. Probably he didn't get the suppliers that he needed. You look at Kudus with his club, I mean, Tottenham, on the right side of attack, he does very well. he creates space for the wing back to come in. But in this case, I was expecting Caleb Kudus to create space for him to run so that Kudus can come just behind Antoine Semenyo, and probably we are secured of free kick. We are secured of a spaces whereby he can put the balls there for Antoine Semenyo or even Jordan Ayew, which it didn't work. So for me, I think that these are some of the things that we really need to look at. And the players themselves also need to improve. They need to have a tete-a-tete with the manager. I mean, I'm talking about Otoado.
Okay.
Because if you feel that, look, I've been given a role that you think that, look, it's a problem, discuss with your manager, discuss with the coach. Because it is serious that you see Kudus playing so well on the right side of the wide area in the team of Tottenham, but when it comes to the Blasters, either it's selfishness or probably he doesn't get the right movement from his colleagues. It's a problem, because when I look at the system that Otto played, initially I thought he was playing the 3-5-2 system.
Yeah.
But probably I think that when he saw the Malians using the wide areas very effectively, probably he was scared to let Caleb go or Gideon Mensah go.
Mm-hmm.
So probably let's stay. But if they are staying, Kudus can run and take their left back off the position and create a space for Caleb to go, because you saw Ajete most often behind Caleb. You also saw Salisu most often behind Gideon Mensah. So that was why you always see Zibo not moving more offensively but defensively being a shield to Partey. So there were not enough passes from the midfield to Antoine Semenyo. I'm talking about the pocket of spaces, because the Malians were very calm, comfortable on the ball, full of confidence, and you and I know that, look, they are very effective when they use their wide areas.
Yeah.
Probably that is the reason why Gideon and then Caleb didn't go as wing backs. That is why you could clearly see that we have 5 players at the back. And for me, that was a problem. That was really a problem, because sometimes as players, you also need to improvise. And as technical team, I asked myself that how do they read the game? Because you saw the Malians very effective on the wide areas. You have Kudus who can give you free kicks, yes, the final third. You have Kudus, when he gets the ball, is one player doesn't come on him, they come with 2. So technically, probably they are short by 1. Zibo has given Partey the kind of assist that probably when he was with Arsenal he gets from Declan Rice, because Zibo is right behind Thomas Partey trying to do the physical work for him. So Partey does his runs, Partey does this control, he does whatever he wants to do with the ball, and the kind of passes that he also gives to the front players. And for me, I think that these are some of the things that you also need to look at, and that is why I'm saying that, look, there are a lot of work to be done. There are a lot of work to do. And look, Ishak Fatau is fit. Ernest Nyaman may be back. And there are a couple of guys that are there. Talk of Joel Family and the rest. A lot of guys are there. And look, the last 2 games, I know and I believe that, look, we are going to beat Central African Republic. And of course, Otoado needs to do more. Because look, it's not just a matter of we going to the World Cup. We need to go and make a case for ourselves, because our boys are doing so well in Europe. So why can't they do the same when they come to the national team? Then you have to look at your technical bench and ask a lot of questions.
Well, interesting points you've made. I wanted to ask, you kind of answered my final question, but I'll ask it anyway because we may have a different point. Just finally, you mentioned the last 2 games. We know 3 points will get us the tickets to the World Cup, and then we can start planning almost a full year ahead and all of that. What should be the plan for the final 2 games, knowing that 3 points will be okay? Other results could come in. We may not need all 3 points, but what should be the plan? Because the next international window is just next month, a few weeks away. What should be the plan to properly attack those 2 games, get the needed points, and then we can think of the World Cup in about a year from now?
I believe that if Otto goes with the 3 back, the players do very well. The team does very well. Typical example is our game against Madagascar in Morocco. You saw he played Chad at the Accra Sports, and then he played 4 back. Though we won by 4-1 or 4-0 or something. We went to Morocco to play Madagascar, who are very offensive, who also needed those points at all costs. But he decided to play 3 back. He played Jerome, Juku, and then of course Salisu. And then he played Shaifa, that player on the right as a wing back, and then Gideon as a left wing back. So we had a lot of stability because Abu Francis was doing what Zibo did for Partey this time, and between him and Partey, they were wonderful in midfield, and that was where you saw Kudus doing so well all over the final third, and you could clearly see that the kind of passes from Jordan Ayew, the runs from Jordan Ayew was very effective. We went to Chad, Otuado went to play the back 4, and then we were struggling, and you could clearly see some kind of build up that we were trying to do. It has to take Jerome Opoku has to use the long passes to the wide areas for our front runners, and for me, I think that it doesn't go well for us. So if Otto wants to go and then make sure that he have a proper game plan, and also make sure that he finish with the Central African Republic. The good news is that we are not going to Central African Republic. Probably it's in Morocco. We've played a couple of matches there, so the players should be comfortable there. There will not be much fans from Central African Republic probably to be behind their team. So if he's really will go with the 3-back system, of course, he's got players that can do the job for him. The wing backs are going to be very effective. If Abu Francis will be fit within that period, solid. Partey will be doing his job, and then we can use Kudus. You see, the reason I'm mentioning Kudus is that look, you are assured of free kicks around the edge of the box. You are assured of 2 players coming on him, so technically probably you are shorting your opponent's defense by 1. So you only need to be very tactful and make sure that the pocket of spaces that will be created, your players will be able to do the job. And they also need to do a lot of finishing and training. Most of this, our boys comes to the blasters, and then there are some chances that they get. You ask yourself, why do they miss these opportunities? Why do they miss these chances? So I think this is about focus, and also they make sure that they do all that. So I believe that if they're able to go the way they play Madagascar, and even the way they play Mali, if he's going to change the system a bit, we should be able to overcome Central African Republic, and probably we use the Comoros game as celebration at Accra Sports Stadium.
Well, hopefully it should all work out. Coach, thank you so much for speaking with us, and enjoy the rest of the day. I'm sure we'll speak again soon.
Thank you.
That was Coach Ebenezer Sefa, coach and scout, sharing his thoughts on the Black Stars. Ray, he makes a very interesting point, right? He touches on, when I asked him the bit on the difference in performance, right? The difference in performance. And I'm happy the point, he made, Coach Sefa, on, so he highlighted a few things. One, just the attitude of the players, just not giving 100%. Yeah. That is one. And 2, then he goes down to the technical thing. So that those ones are what I call the scientific ones. Those ones you can measure, you can point to. He talks about role description, where Otuado deploys these guys. Maybe he needs to think again about where he's putting them to get the best out of them. I really do hope Otuado thinks again about where he deploys the players, because somehow, look, if you put a player in a position that doesn't favor him, output will be affected somehow. Of course, if you layer it through with a 20 to 30% drop off in player performance, the guy he doesn't want to really commit some way, and then you will get some of the things we are getting, and then maybe tactical decisions, right? Technical decisions and all of that. For example, Otuado, this is on Ghana Web. Otuado talks about players taking better decisions in the final third. Okay, now he says, quote, if you have played before, you know that sometimes there's a little bounce from the ball, or the position is tight and you think too much. It's normal as a footballer to look for the perfect solution, but sometimes you don't need it. Sometimes you just rip the ball in, even if it is 1 against 3. The defender might score an own goal. You might hit the player, or you can win the second ball. We need to improve on that for sure.
Well, you see, Nathan,
this is Sporty FM.
When the coach speaks like this, it is clear he has seen a problem. He has identified a challenge. And obviously, he cannot teach these players how to put the ball at the back of the net. He cannot now be teaching these players what decisions they should take or what decisions they should make in the final third.
Mm-hmm.
And so he can only point it out to them. And he can only speak to them about it. To be a bit sharper, a bit more ruthless, have a bit of killer instinct about them. Normally, for most coaches, unless he has a specialized final third coach, okay, so you have a striker's coach or a coach for your forwards, he may spend a lot more time trying to teach them how to get into spaces, get into certain positions, run with the ball, run without the ball, how to deal with opponents with your back to goal and all of those things. Maybe that he will do. But at national team level, Nathan, you cannot teach Kudus how to score. You cannot now teach Semenyo how to position himself on the pitch and how to take shots. Or you cannot tell Jordan at his age how to put the ball at the back of the net. And so, normally, the problem that he has identified, he may not be able to solve directly, but he can talk to his players, get them to be a bit calm on the ball, get them to raise their heads, scan the pitch within that very limited space they have. I think that he can only achieve that through talking to, and possibly playing back their videos to them and explaining to them what they should have done, what they shouldn't have done, and all. But very legitimate concerns, because if you look at the Black Stars score, in our game against Chad, we scored 1. In our game against Morocco, we scored 1. The last...
Morocco?
Sorry.
Mali.
Mali. And we scored 1.
Yes.
It tells you, again, how lightweight we are up front.
Well, somebody would say we put 5 past Chad.
That was Chad. That was Chad. That was Madagascar. Okay, that was Chad. That was Madagascar. When the opponents get a bit tougher, we struggle to break them down, especially when the opponents decide to sit deep. We struggle to break them down. So all of these things, I'm sure the coach has identified. But you ask if we need more enforcement, and I would say yes. I think up front, Inaki Williams has struggled to fire for the Stars. Decent striker, lots of potential. We see him playing for Club Athletic week in, week out. Is he a
victim of wrong deployment, or it's what is it?
Wrong deployment, I must say, because we've seen Inaki play at his club side. He's normally not the number 9. He's normally not that focal point of attack. He likes to play wide and then cut in. He likes to play on the shoulder of defenders, run into spaces. That is how he plays. You ask the question, is he getting same supply? Is he getting the services as you would want? Case in point, Kamaldeen found himself in good space. He found himself in good space. A ball across, we know Inaki would have pounced on that ball and planted that ball at the back of the net, but that didn't happen. So all sorts of things have happened to Inaki in the Black Stars. And I'm sure one way or the other, all of that would affect his confidence. And so we must now be looking at bringing in a player who has goals, who possibly understands our game, who would possibly understand that, look, my players may not be on the same wavelength as me. I have to possibly fight for myself and find a way to score. So you may bring in Jerry Efriye, who at this level, you can say, has been with the team for quite a bit, and even at youth level, he's been able to prove that he can score when the opportunity is given to him. Then you possibly look at other options, maybe outside this pool. And I'm sure before the tournament, a lot more players would come in. A lot more players with bigger IQs when it comes to connecting with some of the players who have similar IQ. And I say bigger IQs because, you know, Nathan, when you watch the Black Stars play, you watch a player like Inaki, he makes the runs, the balls don't go. He makes the runs, the balls don't go. In most of those games, Thomas Partey is not the closest to him.
Okay.
In most of those games, Kudus Mohamed may be holding on to the ball a bit too much. In most of those games, Semenyo will want to go for glory himself. Kamaldeen will want to go for glory himself. So you are possibly looking for that Xabi kind of player, that Iniesta kind of player, who would see the pass, or that KDB kind of player, who would see the pass. Okay. In this case, the Black Stars don't have that. So Bruno Fernandes, that kind of player, who would see the space, who would see the run, great vision, great football brain. At this point, because we don't have that, or maybe we have that, but we are not giving that player the chance to express himself that way.
Okay.
So all of those options, Otto would figure out, get into tournament proper. I remember there was this World Cup. We had to bring it to Tex Frimpong. Because
when we were trying to qualify for the 2006 World Cup.
Because he was scoring for Enyimba at the time. And we felt that, look, this guy will be a great addition. He came, he proved himself.
Yeah, I remember he scored a very important goal against Burkina Faso.
So Nathan, we may have to widen the pool a bit and see which other players can come in. It's not a matter of.
But are there even strikers out there?
Oh, well, Nathan, like I said yesterday, if you have an addition like Hudson-Odoi,
Sporty FM,
it's a big boost for the team.
Okay.
If you have an addition like Nketiah,
Eddie
Nketiah, a big boost for the team. All of these players will come in, and we all know where they are. We all know where they would be. We know their level, and we all know how playing with Kudus, playing with Semenyo, playing with Jordan would feel like with some of these boys. You get it, and that's why I'm saying that all of these things the coach would have to plot. And there's this German boy, Anksanov. That's the name. That's what this boy. His name I struggle. No, another player who could come in and give us that offensive power we are looking for. Look, Nathan, you remember we were going to the World Cup. We had to bring in the likes of Kevin Prince Boateng. His football IQ was huge. Did he deliver or not?
Yeah, largely 2010.
Absolutely. He played the role. He delivered. He complemented the efforts of Sulis, the Asians, the PS. Good addition. Okay. Do we have a lot more like that out there?
So if I get you think that players like Kellam Hudson-Odoi, Eddie Nketiah, you bring them in, they
straight away
they give the attack
they change the dynamics of your attack.
A new dimension. So Hudson-Odoi playing from the left, so it means that what? So now we don't have to. So he becomes an option to who Semenyo. So now we can think, okay, maybe Semenyo through the middle.
And he even becomes an option to who plays on the right.
On the right. And then there's Eddie Nketiah, who can a number 9. So you put him there and he's another option.
So all of these players suddenly change the dynamics of the team. Suddenly. And even gives confidence to those playing at the back. Because look, how many chances would Eddie Nketiah need to finish? How many chances would he have to waste before he plants some at the back of the net? He can get that job. He can get that job done for you. Okay. Hudson-Odoi, what can he do himself on his own? You know. Then Kudus, what can he do? Semenyo, what can he do? And at that level, at the World Cup level, the players play with a bit more comfort because it's not your ragged African game. You are worried about the pitch. You are worried about the next game you are going to play in the league and all. It's go for broke at the World Cup. You want to be seen as the best player at the World Cup. You want to be seen as one of the best players. So the players give it their all. And why not? If you have a lot of quality. And you see, Nathan, we've not been able to replace Asamoah Gyan. Ever since Gyan left with his goals, we've not been able to confidently say, this is the next Gyan. This is the player who solves our goal scoring problems for us. Yes. This is a player when they go and get stuff, he'll pull the chestnut out of the blazing fire. We've not been able to figure that out. So we may have to rely on bits and pieces. You know, Semenyo would come to chip in with some goals. Kudus would chip in with some goals. Inaki on his day, get you a few goals. You know, so all of that we are trying to figure out. Whilst trying to figure that out, there's a problem of the midfield as well. It used to be our powerhouse. And we can name them. We had quality players in the middle of the park. Aima,
Aima played for Argentina.
But you know Aima.
Anthony Annan, you mean?
Very good. You see, there was Anthony Annan, there was Derek Boateng.
Whenever I mention Anthony Annan, I always go back to AFCON 2008.
When he put his hand in.
John Obi Mikel's eye.
Nathan, there was Michael Essien, there was Sule, there was Apia. We had quality. Today, Nathan, sadly, we can only boast of Thomas Partey. Okay. In recent times, Sibu it's just one game.
Just one
really.
game, yes.
We've seen him play for just one game.
Yes.
Salis never delivered. We brought Baba Idrisu. It didn't happen. We brought Elisha Owusu. It's not happened. So there's a problem in that midfield. Majid Ashimeru, injuries in and out of the team. So that is where the problem has been for the Stars. Because when Black Stars used to dominate, or when Black Stars were putting fear in opponents, a lot of it had to do with that that midfield solidity.
Yeah. And it is true. And we had quality across different parts of mid. So you had solid defensive midfielders. Yeah. You had great central midfielders, like central and defensive, maybe put them together. Then you had people like Apia, who were the thinkers, the playmakers. Even after Apia, we had Kojo Asamoah for
very good.
No matter how short that spell was, he had the quality, and you could tell.
You know, so we've missed all of that. And so again, Otto must look beyond the qualifiers. Sit down. Which players around can I find? Which players around can I bring into this team to add a bit more quality to my midfield? He's gambled with Sibu. It worked for one game.
Okay, let's see.
Can it work for the other?
Yes.
Can it work for the next 2 games? Let's see if we can solve that problem of a defensive midfielder. Sibu, yellow card prone. In a tournament, if he picks 2 yellow cards, he's suspended. Who comes in to replace Sibu if he is the guy? You know, so beyond these qualifiers, I'm not expecting Otoado to say, well, these are the players who got me through, so they must be the players to represent us at the World Cup. He must now figure out how to recreate that midfield. Give Thomas Partey a bit more freedom. Because if he's fit at the World Cup, he's going to be the man to lead the Black Stars in terms of midfield action, in terms of that link between midfield and attack.
And at that level, you need a player with his intelligence to run the game for you.
Absolutely. So we need a bit more midfield cover. Sulemana, the Atlanta boy,
Sporty FM.
We've not seen too much of him for the Stars. Maybe between now and the end of the season, we might see him possibly show us glimpses of.
I think he's gone on loan to Bologna.
Yeah, so we may possibly see how good he is, and possibly see if he can do a job in that middle of the pack. That again, Otto would have to sit and figure out. In defense, good news is Djiku, after playing just a minute in Turkey against Kocaelispor for Fenerbahce, has now found a new club. He goes to Moscow, and I am sure he's going to get a lot of playing time. So that to deal with his sharpness, his match readiness, his game fitness, that to solve that problem. Salisu,
we are not sure.
It's not looking like he may walk into that Monaco team anytime soon, but you never know. Things may happen in training. Whoever is starting ahead of him may get injured. He's been added to their Champions League squad, so it means that the coach has a plan for him. If he gets back to playing and gets back to his best, good news for us. Again, coach must look for replacements in that centre back, in that central defensive role, to see if indeed, if Djiku is not available, if Salisu is not available, because against Chad, it was a partnership of Allotey and Jerome. It wasn't that solid. Chad had their chance, they got a goal. Against Mali, who were Matt Chafa, who had a bit more quality players than Chad, we saw how the presence of Djiku and Salisu helped manage their threat. It's good for the coach that he has 2 very experienced centre backs he can rely on. He'll need cover for them. Is it going to be Jerome? Is it going to be the Valladolid boy, Moomin,
yeah.
Or is it going to be Allotey? All of that, again, coach would have to figure out. Our laterals, where I think we have the biggest challenge, We were told Atakon is coming. Atakon, a combination of Marcelo, Evra, Mendes, as we are told. We've not seen him play yet. But hopefully, in our next 2 games against CR and Comoros, I'm sure we are going to see him. If the coach believes he solves that left back problem for him, maybe he will be the guy. Then, Gideon Mensah, who seems to have his days, he seems to be a bit on and off for the Stars, could, because of his experience and because of how long he's been with the team, could play a role there. Right back, Yenji, for me, maybe a lot of people would say that is not his role. That is not his favorite position on the pitch.
Yes.
He's more offensive.
Yes.
Fair enough.
He's a central midfielder, actually.
Yes. So, if that is not Yenji's role, and he's trying to do a job there, it's good for Otto. Otto can keep him as that utility player, that player who does a job for you when you need him. But he's not assured in right back. He's not assured in that position. So, the coach would have to figure it out again. Tariq has joined Fiorentina, gets a bit more playing time, stays a bit more fit. Tariq definitely would go to the World Cup, because when you watch Tariq Lamptey, there's this thing about him when he moves up front, when he moves forward. Mm-hmm. You can tell he's very dangerous offensively. Defensively, not too assured, but you need him in games where you want to unlock your opponent or you want to break down your opponent, where they are not opening up, where he won't be confronted with too much defensive duties. Tariq, good for the team. But the coach would need that Harrison Affo kind of defender. That defender who is fearless going into tackles, times his tackles well, very decent on the ball as well, his passing range, excellent. He needs to figure out how to solve his right back problems. We need a right back who would be sound defensively and offensively, almost like a Hakimi, okay, or a Cavara. That kind of right back. And I'm sure if Otto has to find that on the local scene, and I was disappointed not seeing Simpson back in the squad.
Razak Simpson, Nations FC.
Yeah, Nations FC, because I think after his woes against the Unity Cup,
Nigeria
against Nigeria.
Nigeria.
After his woes against Nigeria, he recovered against TNT, even got a goal in that game. So, with players like that, what you do is you continue to call them, you continue to expose them to the team, and then they get that confidence. Look, Nathan, Liade, where the hell did Liade come from? He went to the World Cup.
Chelsea.
Yes, he went to the World Cup, and he was commanding the starting role. Sila Iliasu, he went to the World Cup. These were homegrown stars, but they went out there, got the opportunity, picked it. Haminu Dramani and go. Okay, so the coach must be confident enough to give some of our local boys a look in. Nathan, I can confidently tell you, if you are looking for cover in the middle of the park, on the local scene, you can get that cover. Whatever Sibo is doing, you can get a home-based star who will do same for you. There are options out there. In defense, left back, right back, there are options. But Nathan, how do you get these players to own their roles? You give them opportunity, and you continue to give them the opportunity to play.
Sporty FM.
You can't say that for Benjamin Asare. Nathan, if Benjamin Asare didn't excel when he was given the opportunity, that would have been it for him. But that shouldn't be the case. You continue to play them. So I don't know why Razak Simpson was dropped. I don't know if it was because of the break. The coach felt he was inactive. I don't know. But the local boys need to be given opportunities. If it's about break, Benjamin, the same could hold for Benjamin Asare. But Benjamin Asare has come in and is commanding that spot. He has deputies in Annan and Atizigi. I think that goalkeeping department, you may not ask Otto to spread his net wide again, because I think we have a solution. Whether it's Atizigi or Annan, who we haven't seen.
Yes. So would you like to see Annan in a few games just to see?
Maybe friendlies before the World Cup, yes. We want to see Annan and know what is worth. I think that what we've read in terms of his performances week in, week out for his team, very good. But I want to see him play for the Black Stars. We saw the likes of Wola Court coming. Wollacott came in, had a few good games, and then nobody knows what happened to Wollacott. Wollacott has now become a goalkeeper who concedes for fun. And that ensured that he was jettisoned from the squad. Is Annan that kind of goalkeeper? Is he better? Is he an upgrade? We want to see that too. So, in terms of goalkeeping, I don't think Otto has too much headache. But in defense, in midfield, in attack, Otto has to figure out how to beef up the squad with quality that can give the Black Stars another step, another level. Not too predictable, not to call into their shells when opponents, when they score a goal and opponents start bringing a lot of pressure. I mean, you don't want Black Stars to play like that. You want Black Stars to control games, to manage games better. So, then, somebody's paid $50,000 plus winning bonuses to do this job. And we can only believe that, and we can only trust that he would sit down, do a lot of work this season on the local stage. In fact, we want to see Otto Addo watch a lot more Ghana Premier League games. We want to see him at more Ghana Premier League centers. His scouting network must be far open and wide. So that at least we'll see 5 or 6 players from the local scene going to the World Cup, not only to go and sit on the bench or be carrying boots for senior players, or be carrying nice chests.
Who has been carrying boots for senior?
Oh, you know that. I don't know what that is that happen in camp.
Who has been carrying boots?
Oh, senior, mommy for boots. No.
So that is the player now who says he wants to go and carry boots.
I'm saying that. We want players who will be confident. And when they go to the Black Stars camp, they know what they are going to do. Not to go and be carrying ice chests and be carrying boots for senior players. Eh?
But now I listen to the player.
So we want Otto to watch the Ghana Premier League. We want Otto Addo to watch the Ghana Premier League. So Nathan, who is the Black Stars well? Against Central African Republic, tough game. It won't be easy.
Yeah.
But if the Black Stars,
that game is on a neutral ground. It's away from home.
Yes, if the Black Stars want to make life easy for themselves, it's a 3-pointer. No Chad games. No Chad games.
Just win that one.
Just win that game. And then Comoros game will be a victory party. No. So, because whatever the result against Comoros,
yes,
it's party time.
Whatever the result.
Of course. But if you do the job against here,
yes,
whatever the result against Comoros, it's party time.
Okay, so as things stand, Ghana is on 19 points, right?
Yes.
Madagascar on 16.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the Black Stars will need
just 3 points.
3 points. Should they get the 3 points, that's it.
Yes.
They've qualified.
And like I explained to you, now this is why this is how it is. Mali are out. Contention for that top spot, Mali are out.
Okay.
Leaves us with Comoros and Madagascar. If Madagascar win their remaining 2 games, it brings them to 21 points.
Madagascar?
Sorry, if Comoros win their 2 games in
okay, brings them to 21.
Brings them to 21.
Fine.
Okay. Now, if Madagascar win
their next 2
games,
it takes them to 22.
It brings them to 22. If Black Stars win their next game, it takes them to 22.
Yes. In
terms of goals scored or goal difference, Black Stars are way ahead of Madagascar.
Well, in terms of goals scored?
I mean, goal difference. The Black Stars have plus 11.
Yes.
Madagascar have plus 7.
Yes, so that's
presently
4. 4.
Head to head, the Black Stars have beaten Madagascar in 2 legs.
Okay.
So that's
1-0 here.
So that's
3-0.
So we are tied on 22.
Yes. We need to know what the tiebreakers are.
No, so goal difference first.
Goal difference first.
Before head to head. Okay. So level on points with Madagascar 22. Superior goal difference. Better head to head. Should see us through.
For now, it's a superior goal difference.
Yes.
You never know what will happen.
Yes, but so Madagascar, look at the games they have to play. If you look at the games Madagascar have to play next, you can confidently say that, well, these are games that they themselves will struggle to win. So Madagascar in their next game play Comoros.
They go to
themselves
Comoros.
who themselves think they have a chance of qualifying. That is if the Black Stars capitulate.
Yes.
And then they'll come and beat us here. So Comoros have it all to do against Madagascar. And then Madagascar in their final game,
they go
will
to
play
Mali.
against Mali. Unless the Malians want to do us in. But if Mali play the way they played against us on Monday, I don't see how Madagascar get points. So, crucially for the Stars, just win your game against Syria.
And that's it.
And then we are on our way to America. We are on our way to Canada. We are on our way to Mexico. I heard there's a place in Mexico called Guadalajara. That is where I want to go.
Bueno. You want to go to Guadalajara? Okay, that's because when I say the guys laugh, I told them that Ghana, they'll send Ghana to Mexico, but people laugh. I mean, it's a possibility.
I want to go to Mexico, we'll cross the border.
Yeah, so that's it for the Black Stars. You can send me a comment 054-257-1061 054-257-1061. We'll open the phone lines later, a little later. There are other things we have to do this morning. We'll talk about we'll do some mixed martial arts, and then we'll talk some boxing as well a little later on the show. So you can send me your comment 054-257-1061 054-257-1061. We'll be touching base with the other countries, we'll be going to the other countries to find out how they are reacting to some of the World Cup qualifying results from yesterday. Very, very interesting results from yesterday. Some stunning, others not too stunning. If you look at the results, so if you check 9th September, the results there. So Angola beat Mauritius by 3-1. Benin beat Lesotho by 4-0. Gabon and Cote d'Ivoire drew goalless. Gambia beat Burundi by 2-0. Mauritania and South Sudan drew goalless. Burkina Faso and Egypt drew goalless. Cape Verde beat Cameroon by 1-0. Now that result has put Cape Verde in a very, very good place. They are 4 points ahead of Cameroon in that group, and it could potentially keep Cameroon out of the World Cup unless dramatic things happen in the last two games of the qualifying series. And then it was DRC 2, Senegal 3. DRC,
the voice of sports.
DRC took a 2-goal lead in that game. Bakambu and Yohan Wissa, and then the Senegalese started to fight back. Okay, you had Pap Gay, you had Nicholas Jackson, and Pape Matassa getting Senegal the goals to turn that tie around and to give them all 3 points. South Africa won, Nigeria won in the Amapiano versus Afrobeats clash. 1-1. It still keeps South Africa in a good place on the table. If you have a look at their group, for example, if you look at their group, South Africa 17 points, Benin 14, Nigeria 11. So Nigeria are living really dangerously. One more bad result and it confirms that they will not be going to the World Cup yet again. South Africa also need to just steady the ship, get themselves the needed results, and they will be there. Benin are 3 points off South Africa, so it's not like South Africa have an easy run. No, okay, they do not have an easy run. Let's stay with the results. And Togo 1, Sudan 0, Kenya 5, Seychelles 0. You know, that's what you do when you get the teams that are not that good. You smash them, and that's what Kenya did. Namibia 3, Sao Tome 0, Sierra Leone 2, Ethiopia 0, Tanzania 0, Niger 1. Okay, and then you had Zimbabwe 0, Rwanda 1, and then you had the results from Monday: Ghana, Madagascar, Uganda, and others all getting wins in the World Cup qualifiers for the Africa region.
You see, Nathan, for Nigeria, no sympathies at all for them.
Why?
The Nigerians shot themselves in the foot as far as their national team and progress was concerned when they sacked Gernot Rohr.
Oh.
And since then, despite bringing in Jose Pesero.
Yeah, I remember he came in.
Who took them to the AFCON finals. They lost the plot right after the departure of Gernot Rohr. I think when he left, it was Finidi George who handled the team.
Yeah, I think he handled them for a bit.
Woeful. It was woeful. And you see, when you find Benin being the closest to South Africa, you ask yourself, why Benin? How? How come? The man in the dugout at Benin is the man the Nigerians sacked. I remember when they met, Benin beat Nigeria. Because Gernot Rohr knew that team inside out. Mm-hmm. And Benin, their struggles in this group, as in South Africa. They lost 2 games against South Africa. Mm-hmm. But in this window, they picked 6 points. Clearly, the technical direction is sound. Look, Nathan, I am struggling to understand. I'm struggling to figure out what convinced the Nigerians or what pushed the Nigerians to believe that Eric Sear was the man who was going to deliver them World Cup qualification. I'm still, that decision shocks me. Because this was a man who had almost all the players at Mali in form.
Yep.
In good form. But clearly could not get this Mali team to be performing. How did he convince the Nigerians to recruit him? And, you know, when we speak to a Nigerian journalist, I want to understand
we'll get there.
How they got convinced that Eric Sear was going to be the man to take them all the way. Because this was Eric Sear, who clearly bottled an AFCON semi-final
with Mali.
With Mali. When he was just a hair's breadth away from winning. Okay. Who had this Mali team, sat home in Bamako for the Black Stars to beat them? He was clearly not performing. So how the Nigerians got convinced that he was going to deliver for them? That is the 11th wonder of the world. That's what I say. The 7th wonder. The 7th wonder. The 8th wonder.
The 8th wonder of the world.
It shocks me. Okay. And that has been their problem. You see, Nigerians on hindsight are regretting the departure of Gernot.
I'm sure they may not say it, but yes. I'm sure.
So when you speak to them, ask them.
Okay, we'll speak to a Nigerian journalist in a bit, but let's speak with the South African journalist to get some perspective from South Africa concerning yesterday's draw and what it means for their overall campaign to make it back to the World Cup. Kamogelo Motegwane is joining us. Kamogelo, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Nathan. It's a pleasure to be on the show. Thank you so much for having me. I'm good.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for speaking with us. What have been the reactions to South Africa's 1-1 draw with Nigeria? South Africa and Nigeria have developed a very interesting rivalry over the last few years, and yesterday's installment was a very unrelenting one that ended. What have people been saying? Or maybe let me get your thoughts first on the encounter, then we can go into the reactions and what it means for Bafana. So question 1, what did you make of that 1-1 draw between South Africa and Nigeria yesterday?
Yeah, look, it was a very tense encounter. Encounter where both sides were giving very little away. I thought Bafana started the game very well. You know, we controlled the game quite well within the first 30 minutes of the match. Control, dictated the tempo, created a few chances as well. So we were wreaking a bit of havoc for the Nigerian defense. But I don't know what changed. I think the Super Eagles were reinvigorated or realized the urgency and the situation that they're in, the gravity that they were in. You know, that they needed to win the game, and they just picked up and. Yeah, they were on top of it. South Africa thereafter for much of the match. Calvin Bassey scoring a contentious goal, I might add. It looked to go off his hand, but I don't know. That's up for debate, I guess. But yeah, after that, yeah, it was all Nigeria. And yeah, they I won't lie, they had a few chances. They had a few opportunities to find the back of the net again, but they weren't able to capitalize. And as the game went on and as they continued to push, you know, South Africa created their own chances, and yeah, it was quite even. But I'd say Nigeria had the edge a bit, but yeah, I think 1-1 is a fair reflection of the encounter for sure.
How have people been reacting to this result? I mean, it's South Africa would have loved all 3 points. It's 1 point gained, maybe a few steps closer to the World Cup. What are people saying concerning this 1-1 draw?
Yeah, like you said, Nathan. Everybody would have been ecstatic about the 3 points. Considering our recent history with Nigeria, especially, they eliminated us from the last AFCON in quite dramatic fashion, and we weren't able to beat them in Uyo, although we created more chances in the first leg of that World Cup qualifier. So yeah, fans obviously would have loved 3 points at home, but yeah, that wasn't to be. And the main objective, I guess, for everybody was to not leave empty-handed, and that's what happened. And yeah, we got the 1 point, and everybody's super ecstatic. The mantra going on right now is qualification delayed doesn't mean qualification denied. So everybody expects us to get the 3 points against Rwanda and Zimbabwe in the next two games. Obviously, there's still the issue of the 3 points deduction looming over our heads. But yeah, if we can win the next 2 games, I think that will be immaterial, because I don't think anybody else in the group can win 2 consecutive games outside of South Africa. Nobody has shown that type of consistency, in my opinion, outside of Benin. But yeah, like your co-host was saying earlier on, that it's been South Africa that have given them the much of a problem. So yeah, everybody's excited. Everybody believes that we're gonna go to the World Cup. I am of the same sentiment. So yeah, everybody's excited after the game yesterday, and yeah, it's just good positive vibes in South Africa at the moment.
You talk about the result, people's reactions, and then you mentioned this points deduction. Can you just give us are there any updates concerning this points deduction? Has anybody officially filed a protest? Has anything been said concerning that so far?
Yeah, Lesotho, 24 hours after the game had transpired, I think the Nigerian Football Federation had raised it. And then subsequently, Lesotho had filed a complaint to FIFA. But since then, no official update has come out. I know CAF and some FIFA delegates have congregated a few times to discuss various topics, but yeah, and have issued various verdicts on various issues. But yeah, the issue pertaining to Mokwena's alleged ineligibility is still up for. It's still speculative, and nobody knows what the sentiment is surrounding that. So no tangible or substantial update within that regard. So we're still going to have to wait and see what they ultimately do say. The precedent is that the 3 points will be deducted. I think Nigeria were in a similar situation when they were qualifying for the 2018 World Cup. So they got their 3 points deducted, and everybody expects us to get ours as well. So I don't know when they're going to come to that verdict, if they do at all. But yeah, for the time being, South Africa is 5 points ahead at the top, if I'm not mistaken, or 6 points. So yeah, it's going to be very tricky. Like I said, for Benin, you'd say are the team that can possibly usurp us with that points deduction. But I don't know if they're going to win their 2 remaining matches, because they play Nigeria, I think, and they play somebody else. So just the Nigeria fixture in itself is going to be quite difficult, So they play Rwanda as well. So yeah, maybe the Rwanda game they do well, and then Nigeria, that'll be quite tricky. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, as far as the deduction is concerned, no substantial update at the moment.
Great. Just finally, for lots of people people saw the South African team play in the AFCON and in the CHAN, and there's a lot of talk about the team looking different. What has Hugo Bruce done to get this team to play at this level? Because you've seen previous South African teams, some of them had more star names, bigger profiles, bigger egos, let me add. But what is it that Hugo Bruce has done to guide this team through the qualifiers? And South Africa are a few points away, barring any hurdle, a few points away from making another World Cup appearance. What's the story of Hugo Bruce's success with the team?
I think Hugo Bruce has instilled a culture of accountability within the squad, because he said recently that, you know, when he first arrived, he felt as though when the players arrived for national team, they treated it kind of as like a break from club football and kind of a holiday, so to speak. And, you know, there was just kind of a laxed atmosphere around camp when he first arrived. So he was saying his job was to let the players know of the magnitude and the pressure it means and what it means to play for your country, you know. So just a general shift and cultural shift that he's brought in within the country, I think, is quite commendable, and he needs to be lauded and applauded for what he's managed to accomplish, because it's this attitude shift that's, you know, kind of propelled us to, like you say, like where we were, AFCON semi-finalists, now potentially on the cusp of qualifying for the World Cup. We made it to yet another AFCON. So yeah, he's just changed everything, and you know, it's commendable, and hopefully we can continue from where he's going to leave us, because he said, should we qualify for the World Cup, that would be his last kind of tournament in management, and he will retire after that. So whoever we bring in after that, hopefully we can continue where we are and continue to ascend, because yeah, this is where we believe we should be amongst, you know, the other African giants. So yeah, Hugo Bruce has just, you know, I think he's just changed the mentality within the squad, and just the approach that players have when they come for national team. Because you see, because we've had a lot of injuries for this international break in particular, many big names, many star players have not been available for various reasons, mostly because of injury. And even the players that have stepped up, you know, they've been integrated seamlessly. So yeah, it just goes to show, you know, that there's a culture in the national team right now that's, you know, that's very competitive, and players know what to do, and it's at an extremely high level.
Well, wish Bafana the very, very best. Kamogelo, thank you so much for speaking with us, and I'm sure we'll speak again really soon.
Thank you so much for having me. Enjoy the rest of your morning.
All right, take care then. Have a good day. That was South African journalist Kamogelo Motegwane, works with Soccer Laduma. And very interesting. Ray, he said something that has stayed with me. He says Hugo Bruce has changed the culture of the national team. He's come in and he's reminded the players that this is not a break from club football. Yeah. This is your work. You are playing for your country. The attitude must be very different. It's amazing.
Nathan, that's what you get from elite coaches. Or coaches who have... Oh, yes. No, that's what you get from elite coaches. Coaches who have been there, done that, seen it all.
Sporty FM.
I mean, Hugo Bruce...
He's an AFCON winner.
It's an AFCON winner. And even before that, you look at his managerial career. From Club Brugge to Anderlecht to Genk to Trabzonspor. Then he came to the African continent. J.S. Kabili, Hussein Dey to Cameroon. Then went back to take care of business in Belgium as sports director before he came to South Africa. He has an impressive CV. Okay. And you see, he's played a game before. He's played a game before. And he's played for two of the best sides in Belgium.
Club Brugge.
And
Anderlecht, yeah.
You understand? So, and as a player, now Nathan, look at where the mentality comes in. Mm-hmm. As a player, he's won almost everything that has to be won in Belgium. As a player. So, if you get this man as a manager, you obviously expect him to come in and do a certain job.
This is Sporty FM,
and
voice of sport.
He knows the African terrain very well. If not for anything at all, he's been able to do the business on the African continent to even win the Cup of Nations in 2017 with Cameroon.
I campaigned for his appointment as Black Stars head coach after that.
I thought at a point we were going for Hugo Bruce.
Okay. Just hold that thought for me. Let me go to the line, Ray. I'll come back. Let's speak to Leslie. Let's speak with Leslie Angu, a Cameroonian journalist. He's a vice president of the Cameroonian Association of Sports Journalists, and he's a CAF and FIFA media officer. Leslie, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on the Sporty Breakfast on Sporty FM in Accra, Ghana. Okay, all right. We'll try and work the line and see if we can get Leslie to give us some perspective on Cameroon's loss to Cape Verde and the ripple effect it could have on the indomitable Lions in their bid to qualify for yet another World Cup. Barry, you are talking about Hugo Bruce and what he's done with South Africa.
You know, Nathan, Hugo Bruce obviously in South Africa has been given the free hand to figure out what would work for him. And that's what seems to be working. Experience. He knows what he wants. He knows what he wants to do. You see, and most importantly, it's not about bringing in a coach who is all over the place. And then you have to go and get support for him. You have to go and get steady teachers to come and teach him so that even when he's on the touchline, he's being coached. Okay? When your coach is on the touchline, he's being coached by walkie-talkies. Okay? Hugo Bruce knows his onions. At 73, looking at his pedigree, what he has achieved in the game, he's clear in his mind what he wants to achieve with the team.
Okay.
He's clear in his mind how he wants the team to play. He's clear in his mind what roles he wants players to play. He's won the AFCON. In 2023, I think South Africa finished third.
Yes, they did.
Thanks to Hugo Bruce.
Yes.
So, and with time, he's gotten a lot of the South Africans to believe in him. He's gotten his own players to trust him and believe in him.
Initially, that wasn't the case. When he took charge, many people did not agree with his appointment.
Yes. But you see, he's showing working. And that is what you get when you hire elite managers.
Okay, let's go back to the line and see if we can get Leslie Angu. Leslie Angu is a Cameroonian journalist. It looks like we'll have to. Okay, we are still trying to see. Let's see if we can get him. Leslie, good morning. Can you hear me?
Sporty FM.
Okay, all right. His line is still acting up. But to conclude on South Africa, Kelvin, do you want to share a quick thought?
Well, I think they are doing something wonderful, brilliant, and it all stems from proper basics. And I always say that if you have a very good foundation, when erupting the structure, you are not afraid of the main building collapsing because you have very strong foundation, very strong pillars. The foundation of South Africa is now their investment in grassroots football.
True.
To the point that a 19-year-old player steps into defense and marshals his way, bullies Desses, Moses Simon, and all the other strikers and the forwards, Chukwueze, Ademola Lookman, who played yesterday. He's a 19-year-old boy who plays in the PSL for Orlando Pirates, not any other team. Imagine a 19-year-old boy from the Ghana Premier League, playing against the top gangs. We were very much happy when a player like Felix Ohina Afnajan was playing for the Black Stars because of his age and then his fast rise from the local game to the top. Management couldn't go right, and then that boy has dipped. They have the Super Disky, which is second to the PSL.
It's their almost like the youth league. Yes,
and that is where they've been tapping players. That was where Orlando Pirates managed to get this young staff from.
And talk about
come and cause
the Super Disc. You remember when they did well in the under-20 AFCONs? And they made a rev, and they said, it was because of the Super Disc. They had all these youngsters playing regular football.
Exactly. So all the performance at the youth level, which is now translating to the national team. The national team doesn't boast of lot of players playing on the international front. Where is Pesitao? Pesitao, they don't care about him.
No.
They've just left him. Now Lau Foster,
Lau Foster, I think he was one of the few, if not the only foreign-based player in the squad they used the other day.
Exactly. And if you could look at him, he was even struggling. The likes of Thembas Wale and all the likes have been just rubbed off the team because now he needs the only player who seems to the goalkeeper Ronwen Williams and then the midfielder Mokoena. He's built a very solid team with just players from the PSL because the quality has risen. Teams in the South African League are performing well on the continent. So players have that experience of facing other teams. The Nigerian team is star-studded. Look at the amount of Fulham players. And then Atalanta and all the likes. but they just couldn't stand South Africa. And it was just about a coach who believes in his players and how he gets something brilliant from them. So I think, yes, maybe this is a message that they are sending across, but credit should go to Hugo Bruce. He's actually turned everything around. The mentality of the South African players. No. Unlike previously. And
let me give you his record.
Right, yeah.
Just to put things into context.
Exactly,
He's
yeah.
handled 62 games. They've won 30. They've drawn 23. And they've lost 9.
Difficult to beat.
Very difficult to beat. Yeah. And I'm sure the 9 were the stats, the opening moments of his time when he was trying to put the other players together and then try get a very balanced team. So maybe that was the problem there. But I just think that he's doing something great, and we hope he will come in strongly to qualify for the World Cup. If he does it, I'm sure South Africans will just realize, come on, we made the right appointment.
You see, Nathan, and you look at that team.
Yeah. The
That's
South
who
African
Bruce is
team.
playing with. Look, he's practically picked homegrown stars.
Yes.
To be the core of his team.
Yep.
To drive the team. If Hugo Bruce had come here and decided to pick most of his players from the local scene, I am sure would have been up in arms.
Let me go back to the line.
Kevin, true.
But you see, well, if they are solid and technically sound, they can play.
Yeah.
Let's go to the line. We're talking about South Africa, though. Let's talk about the other team, or the team they faced yesterday, Nigeria. We've been joined by Kunle Solaja. He's a Nigerian journalist, and he joins us we want to get the Nigerian perspective of yesterday's 1-1 draw with South Africa and figure out what it means really in the wider context of Nigeria trying to make the next World Cup. Kunle, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the Sporty Breakfast on Sporty FM in Accra.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning.
This is
Very bad
Sporty
morning from
FM, the
Nigeria.
voice of sports.
Great. Your thoughts on yesterday's draw before we get into how people have been reacting to that result. Calvin Bassey equalized. Nigeria couldn't go on to get 3 points. But what did you make of the performance of the Super Eagles yesterday?
Well, technically, they are out of direct qualification for the World Cup. That's one emphatic statement. And then secondly, too, it will be very hard, even if they place second in the group, it will be very hard for them to rank among the top 4 second place teams. So, in other words, Nigeria's World Cup aspiration has come to an end. That's just the simple fact of it. It's very unfortunate, and it's also, I will put the blame squarely on administrative structure.
Okay, how so?
That is what, administrative structure, because Nigeria lacks good administrators to handle football, which is the major lifeline for Nigerians. Even when there is economic crisis, there's everything. Once they get the stuff from football, they take circle on that. But as at now, we don't have good administrators. We have prosecuted 8 World Cup qualifying matches with 4 coaches. So that shows you how bad the administration is. We started with Pesero, then Finidi George took over, then in the interim, Austin Eguavon stepped in, and now we have Eric Chen. So 8 matches, 4 coaches. That shows instability to start with. And the coach they dispensed of, who is Kenneth Roy, we had not even crashed out of the World Cup. We were still in World Cup frame to qualify for 2022 World Cup. When suddenly they decided to terminate his employment. They terminated that employment. We've not had a stable coach ever since. And the man whose employment was terminated is at the brink of even qualifying Benin Republic for the World Cup. So the man is having the last laugh. So that means the Nigerian administration took a very, very wrong decision. They were very rash in taking their decision, and even the selection of players and all those things has been very, very awkward.
Great. Kule, my final question. You talk about coaching changes and all. How have people been reacting to the fact that Gernot Rohr could possibly put Benin in contention for a World Cup place, either automatically or through the playoff? How have people taken to this very interesting twist of fate in the group?
Yeah, people are saying that those who terminated his employment took a wrong decision. And probably they just felt the man has stayed so long because in Nigerian football history, he was the coach with the longest tenure in Nigerian football. He was employed, I think 2015, and he was there till 2021. So they felt probably he has stayed in long, but they don't know that sometimes the old wine is better than the new one. And because he has already mastered Nigerian players' mentality, he has mastered how to select players within the country, he should have been allowed to run the full course at the end of the qualification for World Cup 2022, which they didn't do.
Wow, quite interesting.
So Nigerians are not happy with the current situation now.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see what the full picture will look like when the qualifiers come to an end in October. But Kule, thank you so much for speaking.
The way the picture will be is very clear. Nigeria is out of it.
Okay, hello, Kule.
Out of it. The remaining 2 matches will just be like 2 matches for AFCON in December, not for qualifier for the World Cup.
Wow, interesting times for the Super Eagles. Kule, thank you so much for speaking with us this morning. We really appreciate your time, and I'm sure we'll speak again soon. Enjoy the day.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
All right, thank you so much. That was Kule Solaja, a Nigerian sports journalist, giving us a very interesting perspective on all of this from the appointment angle, right? He's saying that administratively they got it wrong by firing Gernot Rohr, who now is just 3 points behind South Africa and has kept Nigeria largely out of contention. We have another Nigerian journalist joining us. The BBC's Oluwashina Okeleji is joining us. We'll get more perspective on the Super Eagles, yesterday's game, what it means going forward. Oluwashina, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm good. Thank you.
Let's start off from yesterday's draw. What did you make of the Super Eagles' performance? It was a must-win game. They needed to win to stay alive, but they could only get a point against South Africa on the road.
Well, I think it started from the selection. Quite a number of people were quite surprised by the approach of the coach in terms of the selection, in terms of the approach of the team as well. And many people have actually been concerned about the form of captain Tristan Kongu was left out of the game against Rwanda, which they won, and they didn't concede. So when they saw him in the lineup, there was this loud, complaint on social media and on local radio stations where people were asking why Ekong was in the team. Unfortunately, Ekong did not cover himself in glory by scoring an own goal. I think from there on, it was just a struggle, even though they bounced back. I think the approach and, of course, the selection and, of course, the tactical approach of that first half, a lot of people didn't expect to see Cyril Dessers leading the attack. They expected Tolu Arokodare, who scored against Rwanda, to have been in the team. But all of these are just complaint and noise, because none of them who are complaining have a coaching license. And of course, whenever a coach loses his job, is the one. Whenever a coach loses a game, is the one that loses his job. It's not the fans. And of course, I think the coach went with what he thought was right in the first half. In the second half, it was all going to be difficult against South Africa when they set up in a low block. And I think all of that, in terms of the selection and, of course, the performance of the team overall, the pitch, yes, was not good. But South Africa played on the same pitch. So eventually, Nigeria didn't get the result that they wanted. And they felt like it was a point. It was 3 point loss and not a point gain, because they didn't need to draw the game. So overall, the fans have been critical. Everyone's been complaining. But Nigeria don't deserve to play at the World Cup, and that's why they got the result that they got.
Olowa, how and why do you think this has happened to the Super Eagles? Because the campaign has been a real struggle from the beginning or at least when you go back a few months. What has accounted for this very unsatisfactory run of the Super Eagles in the World Cup qualifiers?
This is Sporty FM. The voice.
I think earlier Kunle was talking about the coaching selection. Kunle mentioned the coaching selection and the process in terms of how they appointed the coach. I think Nigeria generally, Nigeria is a nation of unserious people governed by unserious and unqualified individuals. The coaching selection, the process in which they brought in all the coaches, in which they brought in Eric Schell for a start, was not properly done. I think when Jose Peseiro started poorly, drawing the first two matches without a win, and then George Finidi, who was uninterested, unqualified, was under the mantle of coaching the Super Eagles when Eric Schell was already told he could take over the job. Yet they chose a sentimental option by opting for Finidi George, and he also was winless and lost a game. So I think all of those managerial instability, the fact that the NFF could not be intentional and decisive about who they want to lead the national team. You don't handle the national team like you're handling an amateur side. Even some amateur sides in Ghana and Nigeria are more organized than the Nigerian Football Federation. So that amateurish behavior in terms of international standard that we expect of the National Association wasn't done. So I think all of this in terms of the managerial instability and of course having players unpaid. In Nigeria, you have players who have been unpaid their match bonuses going into 30 matches now. 30 matches dating back to 3 years.
30 matches? Oluwashina, 30?
Yes, sometimes these players are unmotivated, they are demotivated, they are not in a good frame of mind. All of these, and in fact that Nigeria, as big a nation as Nigeria is, they only have a stadium in Uyo that is up to the FIFA and CAF standard in terms of hosting a match. This is Nigeria with over 20 stadiums scattered across the nation. Only one is approved for international football. There's no technical center where players train and all of that. They are moved from hotels to hotels. There's no stability. The coaching selection as well, they've used over 50 players in terms of how many games. In 4 matches, they've called up over 50 different players. I mean, how do you do that? How do you, when you have a chaos and of course shambles in terms of how you organize things, you don't feel, I think the only people you feel sorry for is the like of Victor Osimhen. All the matches Victor Osimhen played, bar the last one against Rwanda, he didn't score for Nigeria in the qualifying. And this one without him, Nigeria couldn't win. So it tells you the story of, chaotic shambles as well as people who just can't be intentional about success. And of course, have their house in order for them to achieve success. So all of these contribute to the problems that we are having now.
Father Oluwashina, it looks like Nigeria may not make the World Cup. I can't say it definitely, but assuming that happens, does it mark the end for Eric Schell, or he already inherited a ship that was sinking, so he may get an extended time to correct the wrongs and see what he can do going forward?
Bizarrely, that choice is not for the NFF to make because it didn't appoint him. Eric Schell came into the job by a special government intervention.
Okay.
It's not the NFF paying his money. So I expect him to finish his 3-year tenure, except something terribly happened because he inherited a bad team. So he will likely take the team to the AFCON in Morocco. But the only thing that will make him not take the team to Morocco will be a top decision by the presidency or by someone that is in the sports ministry. But for the NFF, they have no power, they have no control in terms of who will take charge of Nigeria to the AFCON. That's why the Nigerian Football Federation president, Guzo himself said that they will have to look at the performance of the coach after the qualifying for the World Cup, and then they will make a big decision. I don't think that decision is easy to make. I think the decision that what will happen will be he himself, Guzo, may not return as the president of Nigerian Football Federation because everything is riding on the World Cup ticket. If he fails to qualify for the World Cup, I think he and not Eric Schell will probably lose his job.
Wow, interesting times. We'll keep an eye out. Oluwashina, thank you so much for speaking with us. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for having me and have a great show.
All right, thank you so much. That was Oluwashina Okeleji of the BBC, giving us some very interesting perspective. Ray, I'm scratching my head
Well, Nathan.
Wow.
Nathan. Nigeria.
Unpaid bonuses for what? 3 years.
Yeah.
Eric Shell's appointment coming from the very top. The Nigerian NFF boss Guzo, as we've heard Oluwashina say, he could be the one on the chopping block and not Eric Shell.
No, you see, Nathan, it speaks a lot about our leaders and how they manage football. You see, over here, we are able to manage our problems in a much better way because of government's firm decision not to interfere, but support.
Okay.
So over here, government doesn't directly interfere or doesn't poke their nose into what the FA does.
Mm-hmm.
They give them the room to do what they have to do.
Yeah.
Okay. But in Nigeria,
it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. You see, you can understand why the government would want to poke their noses into everything that concerns the Super Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
That is the nation's unifier. And the state, again, is responsible for making sure monies go into that team.
Okay.
So you can understand the level of interference. But then, Nathan, that shouldn't lead to people taking some strange decisions that eventually end up affecting the team.
Okay, hold on.
So you question the leadership itself at the FA.
We'll come back to Nigeria. Let me go to Cameroon. We're trying to go to Cameroon earlier, but the line was not really clear. Let's see if we can get to speak to our colleague journalist in Cameroon, Angu Leslie. I don't know if Leslie's on. Leslie, good morning. Can you hear me? Okay, we are still trying to connect to Leslie's line. We're hoping to see if we could get to speak with him. But talking about Cameroon, the point is that they lost 1-0 to Cape Verde. Now, that has put Cape Verde in a very interesting position. Yeah. They could be qualifying to the World Cup ahead of Cameroon. There's a 4 points gap between Cape Verde and Cameroon. Cape Verde on 19, Cameroon on 15. Ray, let's get back to... Now, so you say that bad decisions on the side of the Nigerian football officials.
Yeah. Bad decisions. Because, look, prior to playing a World Cup qualifier, and that was the game against Ghana.
Yes, in 2022.
Yes. They jettisoned Gernot Rohr. Look, if Gernot Rohr...
that was when Gernot Rohr, yes.
And Eguavon gave the game to Otto.
This
you remember?
Yes.
The voice of sport.
Eguavon handled that game. He was technical director.
If Gernot Rohr had managed those two games against Otto,
it would be them,
the Nigerians would have gone to the World Cup. Then from that point on, their problem started. Eguavon. And you see, I don't know what Eguavon has done to the Nigerians. It is always Eguavon.
You know, he's the TD.
No,
he's the technical director. So if
they were concerned about...
If nothing helps, you
they
bring
were
him
concerned about the coach having stayed for long. Gernot Rohr having stayed for long.
Yeah.
They were not concerned about the TD who consistently keeps getting the nod to manage the team but never delivers or achieves anything with them.
Oh, are you sure? Eguavon's record?
Stop gap. What? Show me Eguavon's best performance for Nigeria. Stepping in as a stopgap. Eguavon has never cut it.
Okay, I'll have to check for you. I'm coming.
Austin Eguavon. Oh, Nathan. You see, it's almost like TD. So come in and try and see if you can steady the ship. It was, Eguavon who came with Joseph Yobo and Co. to play Ghana. I remember him. Nothing happened. Then they went for Mr. Pesero. Pesero did a decent job with them. But once he struggled with the qualifiers, 1-2 games they sacked him. Even he, Pesero, he was accusing the NFF of not paying him. Okay. They were owing him salaries. Then they brought in Finidi George. Oh my God.
So Eguavon first got this I think his first interim stint. Let me check.
Later, Eguavon has always been interim.
Yeah. So they brought
1,
him
2, 3,
caretaker.
Eguavon. 1, 2, 3, Eguavon.
Yeah.
Director.
So 2010 was when he tried his first stint. Then he was Nigerian under-23 football coach.
Thank you.
And then he resigned because they couldn't get the Olympic ticket.
Yes.
Then in 2020 October, he was appointed technical director of the Nigerian Football Federation, the NFF. And then he was named interim manager on an interim basis for the 2021 AFCON after Raw left.
Yes.
And then after the exit, he returned to his position. They lost to Tunisia. I remember that game. They lost to Tunisia. And then he returned to his position as TD.
Yes.
Right? And then they brought him back for the playoff.
Cup, yes.
It didn't work. And then they brought him back again.
Yes.
For what? Which one?
This one. This
the
qualifiers.
Playoff.
So he played
the
this qualifies play. So Eguavon, all these years Nigeria have kept him as TD. And I've brought him into that role as interim. Eguavon has not achieved anything with the team. But every day they'll bring Eguavon. The least break Eguavon. The least break Eguavon.
He's the TD.
No, you see, I'm saying that. We've seen TDs deliver to the extent that they've even considered for longer rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like bringing club football. But you remember Jupankis?
Yep.
He was sitting up there for Bayern Munich as sporting director. There was a little gap. They brought him in. What did he do? Delivered. Okay. So Eguavon, you see, the Nigerians should also be looking at Eguavon as their problem, because if in the case of a break, your learned TD, your most experienced TD, the technical brain of the NFF, cannot steady the ship to even get results. Abba, what kind of TD is this? What kind of technical director is that? So he himself, you see, when they are sweeping the room, they must sweep technical director Eguavon as well, because he's never helped them. Then they brought in Mr. Shell. Mr. Shell clearly came into this job on the back of taking Mali to the semi-finals of AFCON.
The voice of sports.
A semi-final, you believe
a championship, your Pesero got to the finals. And we know Eric Shell. If Nigeria need a coach to manage the talents they have, look, Nathan, all over the world, Nigerian players, where they play, the kind of football they play, Lookman, Boniface, Osimhen, Moses, Ndidi, Iwobi. Nathan. If Nigeria cannot get a coach to manage these boys and get the best out of them, clearly it is their own doing. It's their own doing. I mean, you see, that's why I'm saying no sympathies for Nigeria. If they can't qualify to the World Cup, it is their own doing. They should figure out how to sort out that coaching department. If they have to go and bring back Genotro, they should go and bring him. If they have to move on, if they want to move on, then they should bring in a manager worth the salt. From Finidi George to Eric Shea.
Right, Finidi George, we were told that he wasn't. They said he was what? Wasn't uninterested or unqualified?
Yes, of course. So you just look at the line. Post Genotro, Pesero too has been running around South America and things. Coach Venezuela and co. Came back. Look. So Nigeria, if they are serious, they have talent too. They have quality. This Nigerian team, they have quality. But coaching is the problem. Nigeria's problems, you put it down to coaching. We are also getting there.
Sporty FM.
We too, we are getting there. Anna Kevin. We too, we are getting there.
Getting away.
The coaching problem. We too, we are getting there.
Well, yes, I think you know the development of coaches has become a bit problematic.
And on that score, yes, I understand Raymond's concern on that score.
But no, Kevin, wait.
The last I remember,
Kevin, hold on for me. Nathan, are you telling me that today,
yes,
if we have to rub shoulders with Senegal, Morocco, Egypt,
Senegal have a Senegalese.
Nathan, take your time. Senegal, Egypt, Morocco, DRC, South Africa, and the likes. you have a coach who can match these teams boot for boot.
Well, that is a solid argument.
You have a coach. You have a coach who will be on the touchline and they'll be coaching you for walkie-talkie from the stands. Your coach.
The reason walkie-talkie.
Kevin, didn't you see the walkie-talkie movement?
Oh, but that one, it happens with most of the coaches.
Coaches will have other people.
You know, video analysts.
Video analysts
will continue.
Your coach.
Who's using the walkie-talkie? Who was using the walkie-talkie? No, who was using? We didn't see Otado with the walkie-talkie.
Your coach.
Who was using the walkie-talkie?
Ray, tell us who
was using the walkie-talkie.
I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Who? Otado. Was it Otado?
From
no, wait. Was it Otado?
The walkie-talkie. From where the information was coming from to who was holding the walkie-talkie, receiving it, we'll decode it and go and give it to Otto.
But you haven't told us who the two people with the walkies
Ghanaians
were.
watched it.
But
Ghanaians watch everything.
So tell us who.
Nathan.
Who was with the walkie-talkie?
Yeah, I just want to know.
Your coach. Your coach is so good that
you need
steady teachers in Winfred Schaefer to hold his hand and be teaching him. Your national team coach. Winfred Schaefer. What is he? Technical advisor.
Yeah, technical advisor. Yes, to the Black Stars head.
Thank you very much. Your coach is so good that he needs that support. Oh, Nathan, when I tell you have a coaching problem, you tell me I'm lying.
Nobody's saying you are lying.
We have a coaching problem. If we feel that, you see, that is why sometimes when you qualify to some of these tournaments and you win some of these games, it papers over the cracks. But there are real issues, there are deep issues. Nowhere in this world will you tell me that Thomas Tuchel coaching England will be so bad that they have to go and bring him a classes teacher. They have to go and bring him a teacher to come and teach him. Thomas Tuchel. Or your good friend Spain, what's his name, sir?
De La Fuente.
At this level, you see, national team, and when you say a national team coach, you are looking at a man who understands the game, knows what he wants to do, can deliver results, and can achieve. That is a national team coach. So when you bring in rookie coaches, Makwa coaches, and you are trying things and it's not working, they'll come and present a 58-page document and tell you, the employer, to recruit classes teachers for them. And you will do it.
Whereas what the ideal situation will be, if it doesn't work, you get rid.
If you are the man, you are the man. You take responsibility, you are not doing well, they sack you, they bring in a manager who will do the job. South Africa, Hugo Bruce. You think South Africa, they've tried all sorts of things.
No, they have.
They've tried all sorts of managers. Chopping and changing.
Chop Moloto,
yes.
Clive Barker, they've tried all Pizzos.
Everybody came in. That is the mark of a team that wants to go far. You keep chopping and changing. Eventually you get the results from a manager who knows his onions. We didn't qualify for AFCON, a very simple tournament like AFCON. And everybody thinks it's okay. And everybody thinks that, the coach is qualifying for the World Cup, so it's fine.
It is a huge indictment.
Yes.
Not to make the AFCON in the manner in which we did.
Of course.
It's different if you win all your games and in the last game some dramatic thing happens and you miss out. Even that is still not excusable.
We were atrocious.
But we didn't win a game in a qualifying series.
Same manager. We say, because he's qualifying for the World Cup, it's good. Yes, it's better. So we could go like that. But you see, Nathan, we've gone to the World Cup before. This is not our first time. We've seen this same manager at the World Cup.
Yeah. In Qatar.
What kind of performance would you expect in our next World Cup from this same manager? And that's what I'm saying now. You see, at this point, it's almost as if we cannot bend. We don't have a choice. We have to go with our coach and his classes teacher. Okay, we have to go with them.
Sporty.
And we have to continue. Have to continue with the walkie.
Mr. Schaefer.
And we have to continue with the walkie-talkies.
Walkie-talkies.
Well, the walkie-talkies, Raymond. It happens. It's now in modern football.
Oh, Kevin.
It happens.
Kevin.
Yes.
Jose Mourinho.
But it happens.
Communicating with his bench walkie-talkie.
Nathan. Jose Mourinho was the head coach.
He wasn't there. He had been banned.
He was head coach.
So wait.
He was in the stands giving instructions.
So Raymond, what I want to say is now, video analysts sit Yeah,
there
because
are some who
in
sit
the stands because they
yes.
cannot be accommodated on the bench. So the backroom staff is made up of. So I don't know if you realize you saw there's this white guy, then it's about two other dark guys
Kevin.
with the black stars. No, I'm just fine. No, you have your point. I'm also making a point that now when the game changes,
Yes.
there are times they give variations because teams break into different scenarios and different
And they'll
formations when they play, and
yes. And they'll
yes.
tell you that sitting
Very
at
good.
an elevated position.
Exactly. This is what we see. These are the lapses within the team. So
Your coach is being coached.
So it helps.
Your coach is
It
being
helps. And
coached with walkie-talkie.
it's not the first thing. It's not the first thing in currently that is happening in world football.
Show me which other countries are practicing same. Show me which national teams are practicing
Germany
same.
do it.
Oh, Nagelsmann, when he was playing this last time, I didn't see.
Germany do it.
I didn't see walkie-talkie
But
coaches.
it's not the main coach. You said it wasn't Otoado.
I didn't see walkie-talkie.
You said it wasn't Otoado.
So wait. So who?
You said it wasn't Otoado.
So who was communicating to who?
You
In
are
the
saying
German
it. So
dugout.
let us know.
In the Germany dugout, I want to know who was communicating to who.
The assistant.
I didn't see.
The assistant.
Yeah, I didn't see.
We've been watching even at club,
didn't see.
even club football.
You have people
Even club football. Manchester United, your own Manchester
I didn't
United.
see
Don't you see your assistant, the second assistant with headsets?
Nathan, we see all of them there. We see all of them there. We see the coach, the video analyst. We see them doing their thing. They'll call the coach, come. And the coach will
Very good.
We'll be looking on the
So
screen.
if they don't have screens and then they are listening, how would you know if it is an intel
Nathan,
from the very
Today,
top?
Kevin is telling us. Kevin is telling us.
Football has
It is
evolved.
normal.
It is normal.
Our coach will be on the touchline. And he'll be coached by walkie-talkie. This is normal. Let's accept it. Let's move on.
No, tell us. You have failed
Let
to
us
give us.
move on.
No, give me the walkie-talkie. Who was holding the walkie-talkie?
Hugo Bruce. That's his walkie-talkie coach.
Who said?
Hugo Bruce is not
Who
doing
said?
But we don't know.
Who
We
said?
don't know that.
Did you watch the game yesterday?
South Africa.
Did you watch
I
it?
didn't see any walkie-talkie.
Did you watch it?
I watched it. From start to
You
finish.
didn't see the
I didn't see
assistant. You
walkie-talkie.
didn't see the assistant with
No, wait.
earpieces.
No, you see, Nathan, this earpiece
Come
matter.
on.
No, wait. This earpiece matter.
It is a walkie-talkie.
Nathan,
It is
this
a
earpiece
walkie-talkie.
matter.
Yes.
This earpiece matter.
Yes.
This earpiece matter.
Yeah.
Sporty FM.
Do you know what information the guy is receiving? Do you know who is even bringing information?
What if
Do you
the
know
person-
how that whole setup is?
What if the person?
Okay, so
And
wait.
do you see the assistant coach go to tell Hugo Bruce that Hugo Bruce, our senior coach says that we should do this and do this and
But
do
we
this.
don't know for a fact if somebody came to tell.
Exactly.
No,
You
I
see,
know that.
Nathan,
Exactly.
Nathan,
Somebody
Nathan,
said
let me
he
tell
should
you.
do
Let me tell you how
something
video
and
analysts
something.
work. Video analysts, yeah, their work first 45, first 45.
Yes.
After the first 45, the video analyst goes into the dressing room with every information is gathered. We decode everything quickly.
Yes, that is
the coach would have to do changes. Look, we don't see video analysts performing when the game is going on.
Mid-game.
But Ray,
Who said?
Ray, to be honest.
Wait.
this-
Who said? Who
Ray,
told you that?
Ray, so
See,
Ray,
so now the
hold
video
on,
analyst
Ray,
will now be giving the
Nathan,
coach instructions.
Nathan,
Who's
Ray,
coaching the
Nathan,
Ray.
Who's
during,
coaching
during
the team?
Premier League games?
Nathan,
I'm
who's coaching the
Ray,
team?
relax.
The
Ray,
video analyst or the coach?
Ray, during Premier League games, don't we see coaches looking at screens on
Yes,
the
we see. Yeah,
touchline?
we see them looking at monitors.
Yes.
Yes.
So what do you think they are looking at?
Nathan, they are processing what is happening.
Good. So that is the analysis that's been done in real time.
Nathan, you are saying that
Sometimes for
somebody
them.
is looking on the screen. You are saying that Amorim. Me, I've seen Amorim do that a lot.
Yeah, he
goes
looks
to
on the screen.
to go and look on the screen. He goes to look at what is happening.
He looks at it.
Whatever data is being decoded there, he looks at it.
Yes.
But I'm saying that when your manager is on the touchline
Yes.
and there's flow of information from wherever through the walkie-talkie, and they come and tell him, then he will now come back and come and call players and want to do
Ray,
changes.
see, sometimes-
Now clearly we know that our coach is being coached.
How is it that a coach acts on information? It is the reason why he's accepted all these people as part of his
Of the
backroom staff.
backroom, yes.
I can tell you for a fact.
Ray, coaches have backroom staff.
Wait,
right?
I can
They
tell
have
you.
backrooms.
I can tell you
Our
for a.
coach is being coached.
I can tell you. Even Robert Saki, 2006 against USA. Ratome Djukovic admitted that it was Robert during at halftime. He came back and in the second half, he actually instructed on what to do because he realized the US national team had changed. They had altered the way they play, all because they lost Claudio Reyna
Yes.
after that challenge from Haminu Dramani.
Dramani.
So what did you say? What did you say at halftime in the dressing room?
He said in the second half when they lost Claudio Reyna, they had to adjust. And then during the adjustment, he had to quickly get them information that the team had altered the way they play, and this is how they are going to play.
Head coaches-
So you need to
Head
adjust.
coaches are not coached on the touchline.
Nobody said anyone is being
Your head
coached.
coach is being coached on the touchline.
Who? Where is your info?
All right, we can see. All of us didn't see.
No. We did not see anything. So tell us, give us information.
Nathan,
Give us information.
I saw your assistant coach.
Yeah.
Receiving information.
Which assistant? Which assistant? There are so many assistants. There are so many assistants on the bench.
I am refraining from mentioning names.
See.
But I've seen.
No, come on.
I've seen the walkie-talkie coaching. And I'm saying that today, your world-class coach.
How is it that someone uses
is being coached by walkie-talkies?
Okay.
And also has steady teacher to help him coach the national team.
No, come on.
Doesn't he have private tuition? Is he not getting
private tuition from who?
It's not Nathan.
Private tuition from who?
Okay, what is the job of Mr. Schaefer?
It's Mr. Schaefer is the technical advisor. Let's wrap it up. You know what? Pause. Let's go to Senegal. The Senegalese coach, they should tell us that they've brought in a TD as advisor to help them.
After that, we'll talk about it. You go to Senegal and come back.
Let's ask the Senegal. Hold on. If their coach is being coached on the touchline.
Hold on. Let's go to Senegal. Let's speak with Lionel Honsou. Lionel Honsou is a Senegalese sports journalist. And we'll get his thoughts on Senegal. Yesterday, Senegal did an amazing job. They came back from 2 down to beat DRC. We want to understand how that happened and what it means for Senegal and their World Cup qualification hopes. Lionel, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Sporty Breakfast on Sporty FM in Accra.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Yes, Lionel, we are fine. How is Dakar this morning?
Oh, I'm in Congo.
Okay, wonderful. You are there, so you saw the game. Tell me your own impressions of the match. Senegal were 2-0 down, and then they came back to win by 3 goals to 2. Tell us how it happened and what were your own impressions of the game.
It was very impressive. Because Senegal let Republic first meter, and in second half time, Senegal Senegal played his game of it. Sorry, my English is not very good.
No, that's fine.
I'm francophone.
That's fine.
Okay.
Lionel, you if you want us to speak French, that's okay. That's fine. So we can proceed. Okay.
Okay.
Il y a pas de problème. Donc, vos impressions du match d'hier, Sénégal a gagné 3-2. Premièrement, ils ont encaissé 2 buts et puis ils ont fait un remontada. Si on emprunte le mot espagnol.
C'est ce que j'essayais d'expliquer tout à l'heure, parce que on avait l'impression que le Sénégal a laissé le Congo jouer son jeu comme on le faisait avec le petit camarade du primaire. On lui a laissé de l'avance. Et puis en deuxième partie, le Sénégal a déroulé son jeu. Ouais, un peu. Donc c'était un peu comme une sorte de préparation à la deuxième partie. Une sorte de préparation à la deuxième partie. Donc franchement, c'était vraiment impressionnant. Ce qui s'est passé ici au stade, c'était terrible. C'était terrible. Les Congolais n'en revenaient pas.
Ok.
Ils n'en revenaient pas du tout.
Ok, on va en parler. On va en parler de réaction de supporters congolais. Mais quels sont les changements qui sont déroulés et puis les changements qui ont causé le résultat à la fin? Parce que le Sénégal a encaissé 2 buts au premier mi-temps et puis c'était pas bon. On ne savait pas que le Sénégal allait gagner ce match. Mais quels sont les changements que l'entraîneur a fait qui a causé le résultat à la fin?
Bon, moi je dirais en fait que, est-ce que ce sont les changements? Non, pas du tout. J'avais l'impression que les gars en fait, ils ont maîtrisé leur jeu, et surtout ce qui était un peu difficile, c'est que tout le jeu reposait sur Mané. Chez Sadio Mané, c'est qu'il n'est pas bon, parce que dans l'équipe il y a d'autres joueurs, etc. Mais Sadio Mané, il avait reçu un traitement de faveur. Il était verrouillé de partout. Donc, c'était très compliqué pour lui. Et heureusement que l'entraîneur a vite compris ça. Enfin, pas vite compris, mais il a sorti avant la fin du match pour essayer de l'économiser un peu pour qu'on ne le blesse pas, des trucs comme ça et tout. Et de l'autre côté, l'expertise des joueurs et leur professionnalisme ont fait qu'ils ont quand même pu revenir dans la partie et dominer. Donc, je ne crois pas que le changement ait eu un impact aussi significatif sur ce match.
Oui. Donc, bon. OK. Donc, maintenant, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Le Sénégal a gagné. Ils sont en tête du classement, 18 points par rapport aux 16 points du DRC. Quels sont les prochains pas que le Sénégal doit prendre pour se qualifier pour la Coupe du Monde? Parce que c'est seulement... Bon, c'est 2 points, non? Ou bien c'est 1 point d'avant?
Ouais. C'est 2 points.
C'est 2 points. Donc, quels sont les prochains pas que le Sénégal doit prendre pour se qualifier pour la Coupe du Monde? Le Sénégal, après 2018, ils étaient là. 2002, ils étaient là. Donc, qu'est-ce que le Sénégal doit faire pour avancer, pour avoir une place dans la prochaine Coupe du Monde?
Sporty FM.
Allô, Lionel?
Oui, je suis là.
Donc, bon, je vous demande quels sont les prochains pas que le Sénégal doit prendre pour s'avancer ou bien pour se qualifier pour la Coupe du Monde de 2026?
Ah, mais écoutez, actuellement, ils ont 18 points. Ils ont 2 points sur le Congo. Et les prochaines étapes, ils doivent finir premier de leur groupe. Donc, ils ont encore 2 matchs à disputer. Et s'ils ne terminent pas en tête, ça va être compliqué pour eux parce que le Congo est revanchard. Ils vont essayer de revenir et tout ça. Donc, ça va être compliqué pour eux. Et là, le prochain match, ils jouent contre le Soudan du Sud. Ils jouent contre le Soudan du Sud et la Mauritanie. Donc, du coup, ils ont intérêt à ramasser ces 6 points-là pour quand même espérer passer, quoi.
OK. Vous avez mentionné les réactions du supporter congolais. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous dire exactement ce qui s'est passé et à quel moment où les supporters ils ont commencé par jeter les choses sur le terrain?
Bon, je crois que c'est à la fin du match parce qu'ils espéraient toujours au moins le nul. Parce que le nul leur aurait permis d'être à égalité avec le Sénégal en termes de points. Donc, ils espéraient vraiment quand même arracher ce match nul jusqu'à la dernière seconde. Donc, après, ils étaient déçus. Et aussi, il ne faut pas oublier la situation politique du pays qui a vraiment poussé ces supporters-là à créer tous ces dégâts. Donc, je crois que c'est purement... Enfin, d'un côté, c'est politique. Et ensuite, il y a le côté fanatisme qui a pris le dessus. Donc, c'est vraiment à la fin du match que tout s'est vraiment dégradé, en fait.
OK. Est-ce qu'il y avait des réactions, est-ce qu'il y avait une réaction, bien une réponse de la part de la police qui était là, ou bien de la sécurité qui était au stade?
Oui, mais logiquement, les agents de sécurité, ils ont essayé de ramener les choses dans l'ordre et tout ça, mais bon, la force du nombre, comme on le dit, la foule était très grande, donc du coup, c'était compliqué pour eux de contenir tout ça. Vous avez vu les images sur les réseaux sociaux, les sièges saccagés, tout ça, donc voilà, c'est compliqué.
Ah bon, moi j'ai vu les images, j'étais tellement étonné par ce que j'ai vu. J'étais choqué. Bon, c'est juste un match de foot. Je ne savais pas, ou bien je n'espérais pas que le supporter allait réagir comme ça, mais ça passe. Souvent, ça passe si les supporters ont d'espoir de gagner ce match. Lionel, grand merci. Félicitations aux Lions de Teranga pour cette victoire et bonne chance. Il y a 2 matchs qui restent. On ne sait pas si le Sénégal va qualifier, mais bonne chance quand même.
Merci beaucoup à vous aussi. Merci pour cette interview. Okay. J'espère qu'on aura la chance de discuter en face bientôt.
Ok, oui, on parlera. À bientôt. Prenez soin de vous et puis passez une bonne journée.
Merci, à bientôt.
All right. So that was Lionel Honsou. Lionel Honsou is a Senegalese journalist and shared his thoughts. So I was asking him that, okay, so can he just run us through the game? He was kind of struggling a bit, so we decided to switch tongues. He said, listen, Ray, the point he made was that it wasn't largely any tactical changes. It was just an attitudinal change. The players started the game really poorly. And then when they realized what was happening, they decided to change their attitude and start to give the game their 100%. Of course, the coaches had to motivate them, and then they got themselves on track, and then they went on to score the goals. Let's not forget, it was 2-0, and then it was 2-1 before halftime. So that was always a good time to score, right? Then I asked him, okay, so now they are 2 points ahead. What's next? He says they've got 2 games to play, one against South Sudan, one against Mauritania. They get those wins, and then they are there in terms of the World Cup. Of course, he wasn't losing sight of the fact that DRC are still in the mix. Okay, and then the DRC and Senegal are in the same group in the AFCON. So already it sets the stage for a very interesting confrontation between these two countries, especially in relation to the AFCON. Then I asked him about the images we saw, fans reacting, throwing things onto the pitch. He said they were very unhappy, the DRC fans, very unhappy with the results. And he said all those shenanigans happened after the game, when it was confirmed and the referee blew the whistle that they were losing that game. They were not happy at all. He says that it was a very tense, there were a lot of fanatics there. And there was some political undertones on all of this that was happening. Then I asked him that what was the reaction of the security. He says, well, it was to be expected. After the fans had thrown the things to their fill and they left, the security now had to go onto the pitch, pick items, but they were overwhelmed. The fans were just too many, so they couldn't really calm them down in the stands or put a lid on whatever it is the supporters were doing. So they just had to wait until tempest came down, pick the items, and then try to clean up and put things in order. But he says it was a very, very tense time, very complex time being in the stadium. So Ali, Senegal escaped from DR Congo with a 3-2. It reminds me of when Ghana played in DR Congo as we were trying to qualify for our first World Cup. It was a very tense day. I remember, I think we drew 1-1 in that game. Jan scored in that game. So so that was, just the fine points of my interview with Lionel Honsou, who's a Senegalese journalist, sharing his thoughts in terms of what happened in DRC, in Kinshasa, right? In Kinshasa. We'll be moving to talk some boxing, but Kelvin, concluding thoughts?
Well, and you just heard from the Senegalese. The players knew, or they know what is at stake, and they managed to just pick themselves up. Individual brilliance at times, it counts. We always say, yes, coaches may do their part, but when you get to the battlefield, as intelligent as you may be, ingenuity counts. You need to play above certain levels to also get a result that can write history for yourself, and that is what Senegal did. And I just hope that this will transcend. Like I say, there are times the attitude of some of our players, clearly tells us that they don't want to play or they don't want to deliver. They don't want to give their 100%. Mentality is certainly bad at times, and I just hope that a lot of them would pick up the pieces. We saw an improved version of themselves against that is Mali on Monday, and then we just hope that they will continue in the subsequent international games that we are going to play. Yesterday, if you look across most of the top countries, did you see the Cape Verde goal against Cameroon?
I saw it.
Brian Mbeumo had to follow the guy right from Cape Verde half. But it got to a point, he was tired. He thought the defenders were going to close in, and they also just opened up the space. That is the sort of commitment we are talking about. Look at Nigeria. Calvin Bassey. It's not like he doesn't play for a top city. He plays for Fulham. It will be Moses Simon, Desses, all these guys. They play for other clubs. Chukwueze, just look at him in the final minutes of the game. still putting up the fight. And I think that is the version of players, the African game that we had seen previously. And hopefully we get it back. Credit to Cape Verde, the sort of performance they put up has been phenomenal. And did you look at the Togo lineup against that is Sudan?
No, I didn't.
Ghanaians, Yawano, Stephen Juan. Ghanaians have failed the Togolese team.
Interesting.
You're not giving them respect.
Ghanaians have failed the Togolese team, and then they decided to give Kwesi Appiah a hell of a time. They defeated Sudan by a goal to nil. So currently, Sudan should just. I'm not sure they think of getting a place to qualify for even the players. I think it's been creditably good from Senegal and then DR Congo. But you saw the pain from DR Congo, and now they dismantled property.
Oh yeah.
Senegal just cost them. And how do you lead 2 goals, 80,000 capacity stadium? And you look at the Congolese team, and it's not like some allo players.
No, they've got
footballers. Joan Visa, Dio Messi. Just look at the team.
Cedric Bakambu.
Yes.
Joan Visa and all. What I will say as we wrap up is that the Senegalese response just before halftime was a good thing, because 2-1 at halftime now, you leave the Congolese in doubt, because what do they try and keep a 2-1 scoreline, or they try and go and kill the game?
Exactly.
And I think it was brilliant thinking on
just look at the lineup.
Lionel mentioned it, that at a point the fans just wanted to even get 1 point from.
I just want to mention the lineup, and then let's do that, and then we wrap it up. Wan-Bissaka, a right back. Chancellor Mbemba. So Batun Sika is the only one out of the back for Arthur Masuaku. Played in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Samuel Mutusami, we all know him. Very excellent DM. They have Meshak Elia. They have Edo Kayembe, Noah Sadiki, Joan Visa, and then Cedric Bakambu.
That's a solid team. That is
very solid team. First time Mayele came off the bench, all these players are in there.
Very
but
solid.
Senegal were just top. Nicholas Jackson, and then Sadio Mane, Iliman Ndiaye, Pape Gueye, Idrissa Gana Gueye, Lamine Kamara, Malik Diouf, Khalidou Koulibaly, second, then Crepin Diatta. Crepin Diatta plays as the right back now for Senegal.
Right back.
Yesterday, he played as the right back.
Nathan, are you seeing the quality in that team?
Yeah.
And then look at the coach, Pape Thiaw.
Yeah.
He was assistant to Aliou Cisse. He moved in. He knows the team. He understands the team.
He's been part of the furniture.
No, you understand what we are. Then you talk about Cape Verde. You talk about Cape Verde.
Yes.
Since 2020, Pedro Brito has been with the team.
Yeah.
Coaching is important.
Yeah.
Now you look at the crop of players he's working with. Vozinha, his goalkeeper, is 39. He's been with him all this while.
Experience.
When they were bad,
there's Roberto Lopez in defense. He's 35 now.
When they were bad, he was there.
He's been there. He's worked with him for a very long time. Then you talk about Mendes, Ryan Mendes, who plays for Kokali.
Yes.
He's also been with that team.
But when they were bad,
so you see, Nathan, all the teams that are doing well, one thing is clear: coaching consistency. Coaches that have been there for a very long time, so they know the players. So you are not calling, you are not doing different call-ups every game week.
You build the chemistry.
Yes. That is what is doing the trick for Brito and the likes, for Hugo Bruce and the likes. So when I tell you, you have a coaching problem.
There are times you have to also spare our coach. He's changed his back line due to unavailability of players several times. Even in the midfield. Today there is Partey. The next day there is Elisha not available. The following week there is Ibrahim Suleimana injured or something up front. Today there is Antoine Semenyo not available. The next day there is Abdul Fattah Issahaku not available because of injury. There is Enes Nyama. So you see, we understand our coach is not good. Yes. Like we expect him to be.
What I want,
he's not at that level.
What I want,
but we should also understand that the differences, the disparities, the inconsistencies. Our coach there, Nathan. All of us understand that. I can't be brave. But we should also admit that if it's about the consistency and the same parameters, we've also been struggling a bit when it comes to those parameters.
Let's continue the walkie-talkie.
We won't do any walkie-talkie. It happens in modern football. Go on for that.
Raymond. Obama, Kwebu. All right. Let's do some boxing. We have great company with us. Our very good friends are here. Two of our very good friends are here. Coach Ofori Asari is here. Coach, good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Wonderful. It's nice to see you once again.
Thank you.
And Champ is also here. Theophilus Allotey. Theo, good morning. How are you doing?
Morning, I'm fine. And you?
We are fine. This is the first time we are meeting after your last bout.
Yeah.
We were supposed to speak earlier, but you couldn't join us. Was it last week or a few weeks ago?
I think last week.
It was last week.
Yeah.
It was last week. How are you
Football has taken over.
doing? Yeah. How are you? How? Congrats once again. I think yes.
Thank
we haven't
you.
spoken since then. How did the bout go?
It was less. Cool job for me. So, always consistent. Everywhere could be cool job for you.
Okay.
So you have to be consistent so that everything will be easy for you when you go to the battlefield.
Wonderful. Just take us through in a minute or two the entire bout, how it went. What were some of the most interesting things you took away from that bout?
Oh, actually, like I say, I was polishing my left hook. Yeah, that left hook. No matter how good you are, if that point gets you, he's not gonna miss. I have to get to that point. So I'm polishing it so that it can be my weapon for me.
I see.
Yeah.
And you need it because you are now in the WBO top 15.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Bantamweight, you make the top 15. I was having a look at the rankings earlier. How does it feel to be in here? The top 15 Bantamweight WBO's rankings for August this year.
Yeah, I feel a little bit happy, but not much happy because being the 15, that means that's the beginning of getting closer to the welter. So I have to push on, going either more than previous one. So I have to push on myself more because so far as I've come to the world ranking round number 15, I can easily get a welter to shot easy. So I don't have to sit down. I have to push myself. I have to train more than I used to train earlier on. So far as I have my coach on my side and my teammates, I'm always good to go.
Great.
Yeah.
Coach, your reaction to this, big thing. Theophilus is made top 15, the WBO male ranking bantamweight division. Your reaction to this?
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity for us. For some time now, we don't have a world champion, and we are all yearning to be able to get this chance. So since this thing has happened, it's not for us alone, it's for the whole country. We know that we need a world champion, and so this is a big challenge for us. As he himself said, we have to up our game. We have to add up so many things because when you look through the ranking, you see the Japanese, you see how they've packed themselves there. You see the Mexicans, everybody is there. Those top countries that do well in boxing.
Yeah.
So it means we need to work very, very hard. And so it's a good thing we find ourselves at the top 15. And so I would say, let's go, we go.
You mentioned the profile, and Ray, the profile of the people in the bantamweight division, for example. So the WBO champion is Japanese, Yoshiki Take. The WBA champion is Japanese as well, Seiya Tsutsumi. IBF champion, Ryosuke Nishida. WBC champion, Junto Nakatani. It's an interesting, Japanese are the champions in there. And even in the top 15 of the WBO, there are 1, 2, 3 Japanese. Take, Tenzin Nusukawa, and Tomoe Tsuboi, who's Asia Pacific ranked. He just ranked ahead of you in 14, and you are 15. Coach, so we are here. What is the next step after cracking top 15 WBO bantamweight? What usually is the next step? What is the next step you are going to take?
Yeah, that is a preparation. And so we are planning to at least get some points which will push us a little bit on the ranking. And doing that, we need to look for another title, something like the BBC International or the WBO International. Any bet that will at least push us a little bit on the ranking. Maybe we need about 3-4 fights to be able to get to the world title. By all means, find a way of getting eliminator bout. Eliminator bout That means you have to fight somebody in the ranking. So those guys in the ranking, when we get one of them, it can push us to elimination position, and that one, then we have to go for the world title. And we are yearning to be able to get this thing within a year.
Within a year,
we want to do it because Theo is young now, and I don't know what anything can happen.
Yes.
And then the level will start going down.
Yes.
And we now that he is in good shape, we need to work things out, and that's why we are trying hard to be able to have some supporting hands from other angles as well. So we are planning to go for a training tour and then see how we'll go forward.
Phil, so for you, what are your own plans? I mean, coach says, and all of that, you want to go on a tour and all. For you, what are your own plans? Are there any boxes you are targeting, that you want to take them on to see how far up the rankings you can go?
Yeah, I have some boxers that I want to fight with them, but for now, just have to prepare myself, like what my coach said, go for training tour and stuff, because the people that I say I want to fight them, they have much equipment so that those can help them to, if you don't have those kind of equipment, you're going to fight those kind of people, they will have disadvantage of you. So, as coach said, we need support from rural angle, because if I win a world title, not just for myself, for the Ghana, so I need support from every corner, everywhere to come and support me. Yeah, that's it.
Right, wonderful. Coach, just finally, do you have any more bouts lined up for the year, or you are done for 2025?
No, we want to, like I said, we want to fight for the WBC or the WBU International. We will have to get this fight maybe the rest of the year.
Okay.
So if we are able to do that, then next year will be only a target for the world title.
Great. So hopefully one more bout before the year ends, and then you think about what happens in 2026.
Yeah.
Wonderful. In terms of the tour, have you had any conversations with the NSA, the GBA? I know the GBA, they are trying to fix a few things there. Have you spoken with them? What have they said?
Yeah, I think we went to the minister.
Yes.
And we've presented some documents, and he's also interested, wanted to help us.
Yes.
But this football thing has taken a little bit. Yeah. So now that we finish this part, we will try to maybe penetrate before another football league match comes in. So we will find our way in there to be able to get the minister on board, and then other bodies, as well as corporate bodies, also support, because we have to. If we have to go for a training tour, we have to find a place where we'll get good boxers to train with, and then at least learn something outside there, in addition to what we have, and then we see our way forward. Theo has some advantage in terms of the amateur exposure. So this is not the first time you see a Japanese boxer or something. He has seen them before. At the World Championship, he was in 3 times World Championship. He has been 3 times World Championship.
Okay.
So
impressive.
He has that level, be able to see, and so he's responding also to training. He's very submissive. So why not? We believe, and everybody knows that Ghana need a world title.
Yes.
So that is why the support, I believe, will come in to get us there. Because if we have a world title now, I think it also be a good presentation for our president.
Of course. Finally, 2025, what will be your own assessment of your 2025? What has been some of the biggest things for you in 2025? What's the biggest thing you've achieved for yourself in 2025? Or if you've not achieved it yet, what do you want to achieve in 2025?
What I can say, I've achieved something, but not big yet. But I can say that the WBO belt that I won from the champion, because it's not easy to win a belt from a champion who is holding the belts. I can say that's a big Yeah, and I'm also aiming to win the Swagger Award coming this year. So,
as boxer of the year.
Yeah, professional boxer of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like coach said, maybe this year we can fight. I mean, the BBC international bout. So definitely can push us to the world level as well. Because not just I want to win a world title, I want to be the undisputed.
You want to be undisputed.
That's what I'm always paid. That's what I'm always fighting for. So I have to be consistent. And also I'm young now. It will be to a certain age we cannot get that strength. So I'm pushing all out now. So because in boxing, you have to, when you are young, you have to do everything quick before you get hold. Because so far the time we are getting hold, you can see small people who are I don't want to
stronger boxers, quicker boxers, and
I don't want to stand so that maybe a young boy come and disgrace me, like the way I'm doing now. I don't want someone to come and do the same to me.
I like that, Ray. That's a very interesting mindset. That let me do everything now, so that later on, before the small boys start beating. Ray, I don't know if you have a question before.
No, ask for champ. I watched his fight. Yes. I've watched a couple of his fights, and I think that it's on a good footing.
Yes, he just needs backing and support. I'm happy that, Coach, you went to see the minister, and we will do our bit to support you. What I will say is that be persistent. Go back to the minister. We will do our bit to support you so that you can get this training tour. It's important, and I'm happy you did say that there's a lot to learn.
Yeah,
because it's the new things you learn that will make you different from the others and will give you this advantage. Because making top 15 WBO bantamweight, it's a big deal, and we want Theo to move up and up and up and up, and then he'll be close to the very top. So we wish you the very best. Champ, thank you. Congrats once again on your latest win. Congrats on making the top 15. We wish you the very best. I'm sure we'll speak again.
And I also want to put in something. I think he is supposed to be the swag boxer this
professional
year.
boxer. I don't think
make any libby because he is the one there. He this year alone has been able to win the UBU African bet, the BBU African bet, and has had a 2 international fight beating the Nigerian and Beninois. And with all this, he is now globally ranked 30. Bosrek 30. Okay. No Ghanaian is in that level, and rank also 4th in Abu, IBU and IB. All those IBF have all recognized and rank him continental, intercontinental, and all those things. So he stand a chance of being encouraged. So that. No, because sometimes I know Libby can come and then.
We hope that everything will go on well. Yeah. Guys, let me thank you, Coach Oforiasari. Thank you so much for passing through. Theophilus Allotey, thank you so much. Congrats once again. Top 15 WBO rankings bantamweight for August 2025. We'll speak again. If there are any updates, I'm sure you will let us know on your various ventures and what you're doing going forward. Guys, sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do the Japanese people.
Ray, you wanted to say something very quickly.
So there's this curiosity about why you have a lot of Asians dominating in that bantamweight. So it's a combination of factors. Okay. So the average Japanese, in terms of build and height, they are really
they are not the biggest.
So for any aspiring boxer, when they set out, that is the weight category that favors them. Bantamweight. So it's mainly because of how they are built. They seem to do well. And there's a historical push as well. So in the 65s, they had this boxer called Fighting Harada, who dominated the bantamweight division. He unified that division. So just like a lot of boxers saw Azuma Nelson and wanted to do like Azuma, a lot of Japanese also looked at him in the 60s and got inspired by his performances. Then it came into the 90s where they had another boxer called Chiro Tatsuyoshi. He also won the WBC in the 90s. So again, the popularity for the sport grew among all those who were growing up. And promoters realized that they had a huge pool. So they decided to invest more and get a lot of boxers within that age range, within that weight class, to aim to become bantamweight champion. So it's a thing with Japanese and liking what their heroes have done in the past, and then Inoue also comes in.
Yes.
So Inoue has also further given them a lot of, interest in the sport, because Inoue dominated the bantamweight. Yeah. So before he moved up, I think he's moved up, right?
Yes.
Yes. So
now flyweight, super flyweight.
So that's how come there's a lot of interest on the Japanese side when it comes to the bantamweight. They think it's theirs. Historically, yeah. So they have this sense of ownership. They feel it's theirs, and we know their starter. You've been in Japan.
Yeah, I know. They all of them small size. So I'm not surprised.
So that's a bit to it.
That is how it is. But we also have Nana Yakunedu, Edobe, Alfred Kote. All of them also were in that category. So we will get there.
Yes. We will.
Oh, sure.
Theo has the makings of a world champ. Wonderful.
Become a world champ.
9:51. Let's stay with combat sport. We'll talk some MMA in a bit. Zero 542571061. Let's go through a few comments and then we do some MMA to wrap it up. There's a very interesting event happening. I believe it's this weekend. This weekend in terms of MMA. I'll get you those details in a second. Let's go through a few comments. Abdul from Kolebu Teaching Hospital says, solid show, good perspectives from the other African teams. Thank you so much. Kobe from APC says, I think the biggest problem with the Italian team has to do with the drop in quality and too many players abroad in and out of their league, and it's making them lose their old and accustomed theory and philosophy. This one says, we have the weakest technical team on the continent, and we are here thinking we have a good coach. Otoado and the entire team must go. This one says, please tell Otoado this World Cup is poverty alleviation for the youth. So he and the team should do everything to qualify us to Mexico. Then we'll cross the border to the US. Bewa from Nana Chrome Gate. And this one says they should leave Jordan and Kamaldeen out. Africans are improving their play technically and tactically, but are still behind with bad pitches. Alrighty. Let's proceed. Jeff Taylor is joining us. Jeff, how are you doing? Good morning.
Oh, good day. How are you?
We're fine, and how are you too?
I'm good. Wonderful.
Jeff Taylor is president of the Ghana Mixed Martial Arts Association, is the executive director of Global Warrior Champions. Jeff, the other day when you were in the studio, you were putting together an event. This was a few months ago.
Right.
You have another one coming up.
Yes, we're back.
Great. Just tell us a bit more about this second one you're having, 19th of September.
Yes.
At the Bochum Boxing Arena.
Yes, it's just a replay, only it's going to be a lot more entertainment, a lot more things going down, So it's going to be really, really big. Still bringing other countries in from, different parts of Africa. So we're ready to do it.
I see. So you're almost like running it back.
Yes, running it back. We have quite a few Ghanaians that we're trying to push in hopes to give them some opportunities to win. We have a title belt for Emmanuel Lamptey. He's doing the middleweight. So yeah, we're waiting to see if we can get things moving with that.
Okay, he's taking on Ben Bazi of Nigeria. I see.
Yes.
I see. Tell me, concerning the last event, we'll talk a bit about this one. What was the biggest learning points for you, and how are you applying those learning points to the event that's happening on the 19th?
Yes, keeping up with things, because it jumped off so fast when we we didn't know it's going to have that much, people following us and coming at us. I think we had over 2 million if we add up all the likes from social media and some of the TV outlets. I think we had like 1.8, you know what I'm saying, people watching us live. So it was really, really interesting, so I think we just have to be more ready for that, as well as like I said, I had to get more Ghanaian fighters in. I noticed that, we're here in Ghana, and we had about 4 that participated, but no wins. And Emmanuel was the only one that won. So that's why I gave him a shot at a title weight, belt. So let's see what happens. We're hoping and praying that he'll take it home.
So away from the main bout, what are some of the other things fans should look out for when they come on the 19th?
Oh, well, yeah, Reggie is going to, our ambassador.
Reggie's back.
Oh, yeah, Reggie's going to be there. Definitely. And we got a lot of good things that he's cooking up. A lot of bigger things he claimed that's going to be bigger. We're doing some things that he's bringing forth of some kind of competition between people that's having rivalries and stuff like that.
I am doing the SM versus the.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's those actually, but at the end of the day, this is what I don't really know nothing about that anyway, those teams, but I heard it's some kind of rival, and at the end of the day, the way that we used to do sports years ago, if you had a rival, you take it to the bush, you come out, and we used to do MMA where we did all the combats in one, and you just take it to the bush, and you had somebody watching and make sure everything was legally done right, and then you shook hands and you're done. So
great. So I see that there are other bouts on the undercard, some participants. So now I'm assuming we have more Ghanaians on the bill.
Yes.
More Ghanaians on the bill.
Yes, more Ghanaians. We basically, like I said, Ghanaians, they're for a while, because we were here doing it some years back, but COVID came and it started disturbing everything, and they were doing some outside fights, you remember Razak, the guy from UFC? He came.
Yes, I remember.
And I remember him speaking. He was like, when I left, I wasn't the toughest guy. He was in judo and stuff like that. But when he got to UFC, he was beating everybody, undefeated. So that tells us we have the men to do it, but they have to have some kind of direction. So that's why we're trying to bring them forth and push them.
Great. So how do people get to buy tickets if they want to show up on the 19th?
You can go online and buy our tickets at anywhere, Global Warriors Champions, any of our social medias. You can get there. They also, if you take our flyer and repost it and like us on our and follow us on our social media, we're following you. So you let us know, and then we'll give you a ticket, let you in free. That was the same as last time.
Okay.
Yeah, so and again, we're doing entertainment with several different entertainments. We have Onyx Vid, which is also part of they're doing a talent showcase, and their winner of that talent showcase will perform. Reggie got some things with performing. We were talking about doing, everything is about a battle. So they're talking about doing rap battles and stuff like that, So
wonderful. So 19th, Bukom Boxing Arena. What time does it start?
Yes, we're starting at 6. We're gonna do we're gonna do like a 1 hour of showing different things about MMA, because a lot of people don't know the submissions, and they don't know why you tapping out or what's legal and stuff like that. So we're going to explain a lot of that. We're going to have 2 fighters in the ring showing what's
like a demonstration.
Yeah, demonstrating of what's going on, so people can learn about what MMA really is. So we're going to do the first hour like that.
And then from 7, you have all the bouts.
Yes,
all the
yes,
bouts.
yes. We'll do a couple amateur bouts probably, and then we'll move into the main bouts and stuff like that.
Let me ask you this: when you look around, let's say, between the first event and now, or maybe in all your time that you've worked in MMA in Ghana, how have people responded to the sport? Are there people embracing it a bit more?
Oh my God, it's unbelievable. Like, they're coming, really, really coming. Everybody wants to help, as well as so many people want to fight, and so many people are really interested in having that. You know, when you have something that you're passionate about, but you got to watch it from somewhere else outside, but having it in your own country, they're loving it. They're loving it.
Great stuff. Before you leave, are there any sponsors, people who are supporting you, want to shout out?
Yes. We want to definitely shout out to Decathlon. Decathlon came on board. I don't know if you guys saw us, but we did our lunch at their place at Accra Mall. And Decathlon is really, really trying to push us and come together. You know, we basically right now coming into this sport, with it being a new sport, you know, a lot of people want to come after it's really going really big or whatever, but Decathlon understands the magnitude of MMA around the world. Right now, MMA is the fastest growing sport globally. So if you don't get on board now, you may not have no room in the next year. You know what I'm saying? So they're on board trying. We definitely want to thank the Lisa Hotel. They also help us with their warehouse and housing stuff. You know, great friend of mine. We just have to work together. Yes. We definitely want to thank all of the media houses. You guys, Sporty has been just great. You're always there for us, making us, promoting us and stuff like that. So
thank you. Jeff, wish you the very best. 19th September. If you love MMA, you love combat sport, please go to the Bukum Boxing Arena on the 19th. They have the Global Warrior Champions event. It's that's what's happening. There's the second one. You get to see Reggie Rockstone again in the ring. For those who may have seen the videos and are curious, 19th of September, kindly go to the Bukum Boxing Arena to see a lot more. Jeff, thank you so much for passing through. I'm sure we'll speak again before or just after the event.
Okay.
Wish you the very best.
All right. Thank you.
Wonderful. So that was Jeff Taylor. Jeff Taylor is president of the Ghana Mixed Martial Arts Association and executive director of Global Warrior Champions. 3 minutes after 10. That's how we wrap it up this morning on the Sporty Breakfast. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Nathan Kwame. Raymond Yamado did this with me. Kelvin Owusu-Ansah also joined. Thank you so much for all your messages. We couldn't take your calls today. We'll take your calls tomorrow. Trust me. But thank you for tuning in. If you sent us a message, it means you were listening. Really appreciate that. Shout out to my production team. Abigail Sena, Sui Mota Kwame, Jakwe Champo, Naneki Amankwa. Shout out to Fly helping us on the stream. Emmanuel Ayaga on social. My DJ Fidelis and the entire technical team. Our team lead Gary Smith, many thanks for the support. We'll catch you tomorrow with another exciting episode of the Sporty Breakfast. Remember to keep your dials locked on Sporty FM. There's the Sporty News at midday, the Sporty Drive at 12:30, Sporty Plug rather at 12:30, Sporty Drive at 4, and then European Nights at 7. And then in between, if you want to listen to anything that we've done on the network, our podcast, just go to Spotify, Sporty Stories, and all our podcasts. You enjoy listening to them. This is Sporty FM. We are the voice of sport. We'll catch you later. Do enjoy your day.
You're locked onto Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 91.3 FM in Kumasi, and 102.5 FM in Takoradi. Sporty, the voice of sport.